Everyone, and thank you for joining us for another Marvel episode of Iron Panther Presents. Today, Chris and I shall be discussing the future of the MCU as we talk about the projects they presented to us at D23 from 2026 to 2028. Casting, storylines, brand new trailers that got dropped, outstanding stuff. Where are you going to be on December 18th is the question. But anyway, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. You can like on the video, you can comment on the video, you can share the video. Let's get to the intro and get to the conversation, shall we?
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Iron Panther Presents. We talking facts, breaking down every scene like you're watching with the cast. Yeah, Iron Panther Presents. We break it all down. Every show, every film, best takes in town. Hit like, drop a comment, let the fan vibe. If you feel what we saying, go subscribe. Hey. Iron Panther Presents. Come along for the ride. Like, comment, and subscribe. Keep us live.
All right, D23 dropped a lot of information about Star Wars and the MCU. What does the future look like for at least foreseeable future? Some projects that we want to get to, but chronologically, we're kind of doing chronologically. So I wanted to kind of begin our conversation with Vision Quest as we return to the Vision and find out what he's been doing for the last 6 years.
Pretty much.
It was
WandaVision. Yeah, when they introduced all this stuff, it was like 2020. Yeah. You're right. It was 6 years. Yeah,
because we were at home during COVID.
Yes. Yeah.
And I was like, this was the first. 2021 apparently. So 2021.
5 years. Yeah. Okay.
But still, the first Marvel TV show, right? It was this Falcon Winter Soldier, and it's like, what happens to Wanda after the adventures of Endgame and all that? What happens to her? What happens to Vision? And this is what we got. So what did you think? What did you think we saw? Vision Quest was finally coming out.
Okay, here's the deal. I love the character of Vision and everything, but I don't know why we even needed this. Like, you know what I mean? I'm not mad. Okay, all right. Let me start off by saying the positive stuff about the trailer and everything. So I do like the fact that it seems like the majority of it is going on in his head. You know, I guess kind of similar to what we have with Wanda, pretty much, almost. You know what I mean? And the fact we get Kevin, was it Kevin Spacey? Not Kevin Spacey.
James Spader. James Spader is back.
James Spader. I don't know. I always mix the two up.
Me too.
Yeah, but yeah, Spader is back in in human form. And as Ultron. So I think that's good. That's awesome. We also get to see the live version of Friday as well as Jarvis. And I forgot what the other smaller character they showed or whatever. So I find it interesting. I don't know what to make of the show itself, and if it would even amount to really anything. I mean, it shows that he has a son, but now I'm thinking like, okay, is it you have that son, and then Scarlet Witch also has 2 additional sons, so now there's 3 sons? Because I was thinking like, because I looked at that trailer twice, and I was like,
where's the other kid?
Like, is that supposed to be like, I don't know, that's not what's his face?
Quicksilver
or Wiccan, and it didn't look like it was either one. So I don't know. I don't know that was supposed to be like that character that we saw with the kid. And that kid is supposed to be a teaser of what we're going to see for the next generation. You know what I mean? That's what I'm curious about. Is this character going to be in Doomsday? You know what I mean? Like what? Like all.
No. Hello, Candy, for joining the chat. I will appreciate you. We appreciate you. No, I feel like they're out of respect for the actor, for the character. I think they're trying to finally say goodbye. This is the final Vision, so I feel like they realize that they left him flying around the earth for 5 to 6 years, and we're like, let's just wrap this up and be like, hey, because Wanda ain't coming back. Like I feel pretty good that we've seen the last of Wanda in Multiverse of Madness. So I think this is them just trying to finish out his part of the arc, so they can be like, thank you, for your time and that sort of thing. But to your point,
a lot of money, man, and this is probably why what's his face got fired. Bob Chavez, I think the CEO of Disney, and that's why they bring back Bob Iger. You know, it's bad if the guy that retired, like as CEO, was brought back to fix Disney. You know what I mean? You know, so
Robert Downey Jr.
I mean that Bob. You mean that Bob?
I'm just
different Bob, huh?
I'm just saying for to get an example of sometimes you got to go back to the original recipe. Maybe
but no joke though. I mean, I like the concept of what Disney was trying to do as far as and actually no joke, it worked. Disney Plus when it first came out, one of the things that they were more concerned about as far as getting like the male audience over the age of 25 was to get folks to get that demographic to actually get Disney Plus. You're like, you know, they knew that they were going to get the kids. You know what I mean? And they know that they're going to get the small group of adults who wants to go through nostalgia and watch the old school stuff like Little Mermaid and stuff like that. But then I remember them saying like, yo, remember Falcon and Winter Soldier? You're going to get them. They're going to come back. Loki's coming back. Like all of this stuff. And that was the ambition that they had for it was really good. But one of the things they saw, and we just saw, a couple casualties, casualties that was even good shows like Wonder Man. Once Bob Iger kind of came back, Bob Iger was like, this needs to go. All of this needs to go. And basically pull back on all the streaming stuff. You know what I mean? Yeah. Plus, that's not working, which is why, what else? Because a bunch of stuff like that was announced got canceled because Bob Iger was like, nope. Lando, the Star Wars, Lando got pulled back. Starfighter got pulled back. I think Mandalorian pretty much got pulled back, but they already started filming it, which is why they was like, hey, here's the movie. You know what I mean? And then, but even though, no, I'm sorry, Starfighter is coming forward already. Yeah. Starfighter, I'm sorry. It's another, Acolyte Season 2. That's what I'm thinking. I don't know why I mixed the two. Acolyte Season 2 was supposed to come out, and then they said they nipped that, which is probably for the best. You know, and then you know, you got other Marvel properties that they were thinking about coming back, and they just nixed, with the exception of Daredevil. But I think that was because they already had a lot of stuff kind of like
committed to it,
written stuff. So I think that's somewhat of a good call because I think I guess they realized they spent millions and like hundreds of millions. I mean, hell, like Secret Invasion cost them like $200 million for Secret freaking Invasion. And then they realized like, yo, we need to focus more on quality than just quantity. And you know what I mean? And I'm all right with that if that's the thing that works, you know. And unfortunately, like shows like Wonder Man gets hit in the process, but Wonder Man was also number 8 in the stream, like as far as streaming goes, because even though everyone all agreed it was a great show, people weren't really watching it like that. You know what I mean? You know? So it wasn't, you know what I mean? It wasn't doing, you know, it wasn't getting like huge numbers like that. So, but you know, so I don't know. So I look at stuff, something like Vision Quest. I'm like, okay, like what's that's why I have to think that it has something to do with Doomsday.
You want,
I have to, like,
you want to.
Like, why else?
I don't know. So I feel like it's at least 2 to 3 seasons. The year's too late because it should have came out closer to Multiverse of Madness because you're really doing the father's search for their children, right? And I think it's kind of interesting that in Multiverse of Madness you have Scarlet Witch looking like a crazed murderer trying to, you know, recapture 2 fake kids that she created, and there's no sympathy for her, right? And in the end she has to kill herself because she went too far, right? But with this now you have Vision as the loving father, you know, thanks to Ultron, who's going to be like, you got to go out there and save your son. And now he's the hero. Like, he's like, I'm going to go out here. I'm going to get my one son back. And I'm like, where is your baby mama? Like, are we going to have, like, are we going to acknowledge her? Like, you know, she's dead, right? Like, how much is this going to tie back to what we know about Wanda and her end?
Do you think they're going to bring back Olsen in this one? Do you think Olsen's going to come back? You don't think so?
No, I feel
really. Okay.
It would be nice.
I mean, just even if like he constructs her in his mind.
So again, they're like, but you have to acknowledge she's gone. right? Like you have to acknowledge that I know, even though I didn't help out in any way, you know, when the love of my life went crazy, you know, thanks to the trauma, and she tried to get our kids and how that all went down. If he creates his own version, I think in the last episode, to your point, maybe somehow in the last episode, you know, he seeps back into his head and it's he and her and they live digitally forever or something like that, you know, and there's some kind of happy ending for them, you know. That would be nice. That would be nice. If he's going to exist, it would be nice if he could tell himself that he's at least with her in some way.
Should this be a weekly episode show, or should they just dump it all?
They need to dump it. They need that's not their style, but they need to dump it. Like no one's gonna watch this thing and be like, oh my God, I gotta wait for the next.
Oh my God, you know what I mean?
Like that's not how that works.
Yeah. I think the most excited people were with Vision was when he picked up Thor's hammer. I think that was probably.
That's probably most like this is pretty badass. But the man weekly, it's gonna be weekly, but I don't see the big draw for it. It's just too late. There's so many more Marvel characters that have been introduced since WandaVision.
Right.
And even Wanda is gone. You're kind of like again, unless you're a diehard fan or just you're a continuity type of person, you're like, who the hell is Vision? And like, oh yeah. That's right. No, now to your point of James Spader being in this, there was talk about again Ultron appearing somehow in Doomsday, where like you see Doctor Doom like destroyed all these major villains, like somehow he took out his version of Thanos and that sort of thing. Vision could be in Doomsday and Secret Wars. Like at this point, I think Doomsday is already sailed. I think Secret Wars is possible, but if he shows up, Wanda has to show up. Like I don't see him just being there by himself, because she also has to redeem herself. You know what I'm saying? For last time Strange ran into her and that didn't go well. You know what I'm saying? But that's what I'm thinking. The trailer looks awesome. They put a lot of money into it. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like it should be a movie. Like I don't like a Disney streaming movie. I don't think we need 3 or 4 or 5 episodes for this storyline. I don't get that. The kids have to show up too. Kid. Singular, not plural. Like he only has one son in this thing. Like, where's the other kid?
You talking about yeah.
I'm like, this doesn't make any sense, y'all. Like you supposed to have 2 sons. Like, what happened to the other one? And I love the idea.
I mean, I guess 3 then, because this kid didn't look like he was one of the other 2. He didn't look like he was
digital.
Wicked.
The kids weren't real anyway. So this could be another digital version. You know what I'm saying?
Like, it wasn't real. You talking about the one that Scarlet created?
Yeah.
Then it's real. Okay, that's Scarlet. There's a reason why Scarlet Witch is seen as the most powerful being. Scarlet can really create anything from nothing. So she can create. So the beings that she created with her mind becomes real. I know. It's Scarlet Witch has like endless powers. Is what I'm trying to say.
To your point.
I understand what you're saying. Like they're not like real.
Right.
They probably don't have a belly button. To your point, you know what I mean? Because they ain't got no umbilical cord. But
all right, so then it's 2 of them. Then either way, it's 2 of them. He has 2 sons who are about 7 or 8, but now he has a teenager all of a sudden.
There's a teenager. Oh, that's right, because you didn't watch Agatha. Agatha, the kid became much older.
All right.
Yeah. So the kid they advertised that was with Agatha or whatever.
Yeah,
he was secretly Wiccan. He was secretly the other child of Scarlet Witch. That's why in the trailer it says the trilogy.
Right. I was like, why is this a trilogy?
Because it was like, because they made it in the beginning and make it seem like it's straight up just the Agatha show, but then it really kind of
an extension of WandaVision because
and it's more of like Scarlet Witch's son wanted to get revenge on everything that Agatha did. You know what I mean? And wanted to become like the new Scarlet Witch essentially and take his mom's crown essentially. You know what I mean? Yeah.
So we can have some variants from the other Earths. So they could I give you Secret War. They could put that in Secret Wars, but I feel like the ship has sailed with Doomsday. Like I feel like any kind of reshoots they were trying to, once they figure out what Secret Wars is gonna be, they're like, okay, let's get Secret Wars right. So let's get Doomsday right to prepare for Secret Wars, so the movies kind of go together. But I don't see them throwing Vision or the kids in there.
So, question for you though about what you just said: what makes you think that the reason why they even okayed Vision Quest is because they knew that it was going to link to Doomsday?
I hear you.
I'm just saying.
Secret Wars. I stand by what I said. I feel like they're much like Spider-Man, which again, they're like, let's shove some X-Men into this, and we'll talk about that in 2 more projects from now. But to be like, that's not till 2028. You know what I'm saying? So they're like, hey, we got time for this. So let's drop the Vision nugget here, and then everybody comes to the table for Secret Wars. If he goes back to the movies, like, I mean, because that's how it was supposed to be, right? The TV shows were supposed to be like a stopping point before we go back to the cinema, was the idea. And you know, it worked for Wanda. But
yeah, it was supposed to do that. I think it was also supposed to give like a little bit more background for certain things, so they don't have to spend the first 45 minutes in the next movie to give you that. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. You know, I think it was a little bit of that too. So, which is why, like, when we see like the homie, Anthony Mackie's character, Falcon's character. We're not surprised when all of a sudden he's already in the Captain American outfit, and he has his sidekick with him. Yeah, I think it's supposed to be that. You know what I mean?
But back to Disney, they realized Disney Plus was not the venue, and they're trying to save money. Like advertisement. This is the first time we saw a trailer for this show. It comes out in 2 months. Like they were not pushing like Vision Quest, like coming next year, coming in 6 months. They were like, oh yeah, D23 Vision Quest. Here's a trailer. We'll see you in a couple. Like that's just what they did for all their Marvel stuff, right? Like it wasn't the big thing for Wonder Man, for the Eyes on Wakanda, like Ironheart. Like we said, like a lot of these properties just didn't get a lot of coming next year, like kind of big hype. They're kind of like, we're just throwing this shit out there.
But David, you know what's so interesting about this? And actually now I'm thinking about this. This is how I'm sure that they're not going to dump all the episodes at once. It comes out in 2 months, like you said, right? It comes out 2 months. Most likely it's going to probably be like 6 to 8 episodes. Let's say 8 episodes. And it's going, because literally at the end of that, the final episode is going to be right before Doomsday. It's going to be right before Doomsday. So I know you're gonna be like Secret Wars. I'm just saying. It could, man. I'm just saying. Or at least, okay. To your point, maybe even if you don't have them there, maybe it'll like Ultron will like at least have like some knowledge or something, some other knowledge about Doomsday or something. I don't know.
A bigger threat's coming. I'll give you post-credit scene. Somehow they're like.
That's Endgame. Endgame is doing the post-credit scene that they're going to re-release.
I watched that shit on YouTube. They're not giving my $18 for that.
I'm about to say they ain't gonna do. I don't know. They're gonna do 2 post-credits with it. Well, I guess I take that back. They've been doing that with Thanos for like so many years before we saw the dude. I'm like, all right, dude, just hurry up and get him. Get Thanos.
Right. So no, it's gonna be a weekly show. That's just their format, right? No. Wonder Man, they dropped the whole thing, right? If I remember correctly, like Wonder Man, they dropped the whole thing. I feel like it was
no. They, oh yes, they did. They truly did. But I think it depends on the show, and what I mean by that is like if it's a show that's like of a character that's like kind of established, you know, like Vision is, they would, you know what I mean. Wonder Man is not like any other Marvel show we had. Matter of fact, not only that, it wasn't even really it wasn't like a Marvel show. It was called Marvel Spotlight.
As we discussed.
Like, and if you notice Marvel Spotlights, they've always just kind of just dropped everything. Like the was it Wolf?
The werewolf one?
Werewolf, yeah. You know.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I'm happy. There's many characters that they just forgot about or just moved on to be like, you know, and they're acknowledging Vision. So I give them credit for that, and I'd be interested to see him again. He's a great actor, you know what I'm saying, and I love James Spader is also a great actor. So to see what they look like on the big screen one more time would be awesome. You know, if somehow Ultron is not the big villain, and some maybe he helps his son, fight alongside alongside him for Doomsday, which would be awesome. But definitely, so let's review it as a season. We ain't doing that week to week. So if it does end right around in December, then we'll do that. That'll be our first review before we do Doomsday. Fair?
Yeah, Doomsday and was it Doom? Doom's right before. I don't know.
So we'll talk about that with this one. So now we'll move on to the big thing, which is Doctor Doom is coming in December, and that trailer was awesome. Like that, every time I watch it, my room shakes. Like whether I'm in my office or downstairs, that truly sold it, bro. Like they created this movie out of nothing with very, very little like backstory, like build up. It was like Doomsday. And Dune, go ahead, sir, because you called it. So Dune said,
it was wild. I don't know what it is about. So I know back in the day, the movies, when you have the biggest blockbuster films, you release it during the summertime, right? You know what I mean? It's just, you always release it around, it's like May, it's like 2 dates. You do it like around May, the beginning of May, to start the summer off. You do it around Memorial Day at the end of May. And then you do it around like maybe right before 4th of July.
Will Smith.
You might do it like around like the beginning of August. And then you might do it maybe at the tail end, like at the end of August going into Labor Day, possibly. You know what I mean? But right before the kids go to school. I don't know where this whole December thing started from. I just don't, the whole winter thing, like, hell, what if there's a huge snowstorm and then people just can't go to theaters? I don't think about that stuff. You know what I mean? But okay, but it was wild to me that both Warner, was it because is it Warner Brothers doing Dune?
It's Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers.
You got Warner Brothers and Disney. It was like, let's do 2 of the biggest movies of that we have that we got on block and release it in December. Like in December, the end of the year, not only that, and then they wound up getting it on the same day, which, you just don't do that. I know a lot of people like to compare it to, the people say, oh, well, it worked for Barbie and it worked for Oppenheimer. 2 completely different movies with 2 different audiences. So, you know what I mean? Like, if you're the type of person that's going to be watching Barbie, you probably are not watching that 3-hour movie where it's like just a dramatic
Oppenheimer.
Of Oppenheimer. Yeah. And probably vice versa, unless you're just a cinephile. If you're just big into movies or whatever, that which means you're going to watch both anyway. You know what I mean? So it wouldn't even matter. You know what I mean? But you got Dune, a big action film with big blockbuster money, with a bunch of well-known actors in it, and then you got Doomsday, a big blockbuster action movie with a bunch of known actors. And just everyone's going to be watching. Everyone is the same audience, and I just knew. I was telling everyone in the chat for the last couple of weeks. I'm like, there's no way. I was like, Dune. They're playing chicken. One of these cars are going to have to move first, right? And it's going to have to be Dune, because Doomsday don't have to worry about shit. You know what I mean? Like, they're going to wait for your ass, which is Dune 3, to move. And with Warner Brothers' track record at the moment, has been a little bit shaky what's going on. So and then I guess it got released just the other day that Dune is moving up their release date to avoid Doomsday. So I'm not really surprised. I think Dune is going to be a really great film. I believe. I have to admit, I kind of fell asleep on the second one a little bit, but you know what I mean. But but it's still a great film or whatnot. So, but it's just not. You got Doomsday's already selling out of tickets, and the movie don't come out for another 4 months.
Right?
Like, it's just that's crazy.
Hell answers to me.
Hell answers.
like Dr. Doom. I love the trailer, bro. Like, it was solid. Like, and you got to hear Robert Downey Jr.'s like East European accent. I was kind of worried about that. I want to see. I want to know how much of that is like computer generated, because I was a little worried about how he was going to sound. The fact that they are going to the route that he lost his wife and his son, as opposed to a wife and a daughter, which is what Tony had. I feel like, and we talked about this before, I feel like they're going to go Justice League route and Thunderbolts and Spider-Man Brand New Day. When Dune takes his mask off and they go, Tony? And he's like, I don't know what the fuck Tony is. Pepper and Peter are going to talk him down. Pepper and Peter show up, and somehow they look like his family. And he's going to be like,
They're not going to do that. No, they're not, especially not no Peter. Wait, hold on. So you're going to say that'll be so corny, especially with the whole Peter. I'll give you the Pepper part. The Pepper, okay. The Peter thing, and then they're not even this. And let's be real. The only reason why he was cool with Peter is because he was trying to get with his auntie. Okay, like.
No, I mean,
like, come on, man. Like now, it's like a father
it was like a mentor kid when he's like, I lost the kid. No, they really. I'm saying he was his Uncle Ben. I mean, the way they did the movie. I'm just saying though. Sure. But like, I feel I would not be surprised, Peter. I would not be surprised if they go that route. If they're like, at some, like you said. Pepper probably they would have to pay her Gwyneth Paltrow a whole bunch of money because I'm pretty sure she's done with this Marvel stuff. But I feel they're not going to pass up the opportunity. I feel like they're going to at least bring one of them to be. And he's like, "Oh, wait a minute, like I'm not a monster. I could." And then it could be like Wanda, right? Like it's Wanda. I'm destroying universe after universe because I'm trying to get my family back. Because I'm trying to find and it's going to turn into a multiverse of madness of sorts if they go that route. If this is all about his family and avenging the loss of his family. Peter, I am your father.
That's what I was thinking. I was thinking that.
But this storyline is sounding a lot like multiverse of madness right now. If they go that route, you might have to hide in your basement if the trailer causes your house to shake. Obviously, like that base is serious. Like I watched it. I was like, downstairs was pretty cool. And Spider-Man No Way Home came out in December. I do remember that, and that also
did it really?
Yeah,
it came out in December.
Yep. Okay. Yep.
I don't understand what is the. I'm wondering what the logic is to release it in December.
To your point, big action movies are usually the summer. Like I agree with you on that, but a lot of big budget movies do come out in December. Usually family movies though, like I'm used to more like family movies, like Dune, sci-fi action to me that says summer to me. So I don't know why Disney is doing this right. Like they can't compete with the summer movies anymore. I don't know what that is. Will you be watching Doomsday and Infinity Vision? So thank you for that reference because. That's what Warner Brothers outdid Disney because they locked up all the IMAX theaters for that weekend. So it's like Disney had to take the other bigger format theaters and just call them Infinity Vision. Because they're trying to compete, but Dune has the IMAX money. So and I don't know if they can move that to that next week though. Like I really don't know how that works, but apparently all the IMAX belongs to Dune 3. So I thought that was but looking at the trailer, like you see, so apparently this Victor knows the Fantastic Four, like they have history, which I thought was interesting. Like, what are your thoughts on?
That? Okay, so I'll admit, all right, believe it or not, and the reason why I've been kind of mostly quiet, I did not see the trailer. However, I did see. I saw your eye roll, but I did hear about it, and I saw like some stills, like I think the Sentinels in the back or something. But I'm not surprised. I mean, because didn't we see that at the end of Fantastic Four though? You know what I mean? So I'm not.
No. So you saw a hand. You saw Dune show up to their house. It was no interaction. There was no talking. So it could have just been Dune being like, "I need your kid." That's why I took it. I took it as like he knows that the sun is powerful, and he came to take the sun. In the trailer. They know each other. Sue is like,
hey. But then we talk about this. So my theory was even with Fantastic Four, when we saw that little thing, that little screen things like their story about 4 astronauts, I felt like they were hiding something, and that's why I remember I was saying I was upset because there was nothing about Doom. But I was thinking like, okay, are they going to do like something later on? I was like, maybe that's just the information that the 4 decided to give out to the public. You know what I mean? But it was a 5th astronaut. And then they were just like, you know what I mean? No joke. Okay. Like, and all then they were just like, and they just like oh yeah, he died and blah, 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 blah. And they left him there, which is what you typically always see, in the iterations of Doom. So when I saw the end, that's how I kind of took it. I didn't think that he was still seen as like a stranger. Like, who's this stranger touching my son? You see what I'm saying? I never looked at it like that. I know maybe some people, I don't know, maybe some people are looking at like Sue and the rest of them and like looking like, oh my God, why is he touching, or like my nephew and my son. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I didn't look at that like that. I looked at it, was like, they know each other, and then now, like, I want the boy, like straight up David Bowie from Labyrinth, like, you know, give me the child, like, like straight up, you know. So,
so for me, it was a surprise for Sue Storm to be like, you know, he was always the smartest man in the room until he lost his family, and I knew it was hurt, but I didn't know he was broken, right? Like that, this sort of thing. But to your point, though, then that begs the continuity question: where was Eric when Galactus showed up? You know what I'm saying? Like shouldn't he have been like, hey, this is my Earth? Victor. Yeah, like where was Victor when Galactus showed up? Because like you would think that he would have been like, hey, we need to help out. Like we need the bigger brain. We need all the big brains, you know, on Earth.
Well,
like,
it depends. If they thought that he was dead, then no. You know what I mean? Or, you know, or they saw that he was evil before then no. You know what I'm saying? You know, but I'm gonna go with they probably thought he was dead. You know what I mean? Which is usually the iterations that we always say. Even the one that a lot of people didn't like, the Fantastic Four that came out like about 10 years ago or whatnot, they did the same thing where it was like, oh, he's dead, and they're like, oh, he's alive, and he's like ripping like forests apart, and he's naked and metal, you know. So
yeah. I need them to tie that up, because I'm like, because it was weird that yeah, that's what I'm saying. For me, the plot of the Doomsday is gonna be, it's all Steve Rogers' fault by going back in time to be with Peggy. I won't be surprised. Well, it's
gonna be Spider-Man's fault, because it's always Spider-Man's dumbass fault. Spider-Man is the fault of everything. Okay.
Secret Wars. Imagine Thanos dying to a guy that looks like Robert Downey Jr. twice.
Oh, that would suck. Damn.
That would be hilarious. But look, looking at the trailer. So you didn't see the trailer. So for Thor, his anger towards Victor seems to be, I think he killed his daughter. I feel like somehow with the crashing of the Earth or whatever he's doing, like I think he killed his daughter. So that's why Thor hates him so much.
Or he killed, or he messed up Deadpool, or he hurt Deadpool.
What?
Because you don't remember Deadpool Wolverine when he was at the TVA. Deadpool was the TVA, and there was a video of Thor crying over Deadpool's body, lifeless body.
That's right.
He's like, why was Thanos? I mean, why was Thor crying? And then if you saw, was it D23? No, I'm sorry, before D23. Comic-Con. Comic-Con, when they had the some of the cast, I forgot what other Marvel projects Kevin Feige was up on stage for Comic-Con. That was like a month ago. Like Ryan Reynolds was in costume, and he said, "Yeah, I have a question. Why was Thor crying?" And then he's like, what were you talking about? Like, he was crying. Like, I'm just saying it could be a daughter thing, but I don't know. I think
it's gonna so perhaps. So I'm interested to see how that goes. But I do remember it's somehow gonna tie back to Steve somehow. That's what people would be saying. But like,
keep going back though. I think so. You were saying that like him going back and forth with Peggy. I think he only went back and then he was with Peggy and then came back. I think he only did like one time. You know?
No. He's saying that that made a different timeline, which it should have. Like somehow made a timeline that kind of broke the universes or whatever.
Right.
But like for Steve to be invested in this version of this story, somehow that timeline becomes a different thing. That's maybe where Loki comes in, because he's controlling all the timelines. So Doctor Doom is a threat to all the timelines and really to Loki, I guess, in that sense. I'm interested to see Loki and Thor meet up again.
He's like looking at Loki and be like, Loki? I was like, oh, you matured a lot over the years, you know?
Right? Like you did. But like, so this one we can talk about the X-Men. Also, I can't be the only one who is not complaining about the new X-Men casting. The OG cast is getting old. Patrick and Ian are almost pushing 90.
Yeah, man, I was a little upset.
Yeah,
I agree with you, because no joke, I'm a little taken back at how upset some people are with the casting, but the thing is though, but then when I think about it, people are always like this. You know what I mean? When you were casted, when it's like a beloved character or characters, and then you have an actor in your mind that you want, and then it's someone else, and then you're just like, oh, I didn't want. Oh, that person can't act worth shit, or that person's not tall enough, or he's, his voice sucks, and blah 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 blah. But,
well, so okay. Well, that's the part of the discussion. So for Doomsday, I will say, and you and I talked about this. Yeah, for Doomsday, I would say I thought it was a little bit disrespectful to the Fox universe that if they're gonna bring back Ian and Pete and Patrick to die again, like you should bring back James McAvoy and Fassbender just to give him one. Like if Doom is that powerful and he's killing all these storylines and these actors, right? Like, you should acknowledge them and not all of them at least, but at least those two. Like, I would love to see like Days of Future Past type of thing together. And if they're gonna get wiped out again, like I think it would have been nice to acknowledge that they existed.
But they did though. And how? Okay, so if you watch, rewatch Days of Future Past. If you rewatch Days of Future Past, James McAvoy, like when you see James McAvoy's character. He was just a younger version of Patrick Stewart's character. So he was just younger, but that was basically you see what I'm saying? So technically, I hear what you're saying. I think a lot of people just want to see the actors like Fassbender and sort of like.
But no, you're right. You're right. It's just a younger version.
Because remember when Logan finally went back to his to the future, the linear future, even though technically it should have been a broken off future. Like, he went back to the James McAvoy's arc, and that's why when he talked to Professor X, he's like, yo, I don't remember anything from 1973. And then Patrick Stewart's face was like, welcome back. Like, he remembered him from 1973 when it was James McAvoy. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, you're right. So, no, you're right. You're right.
Yeah. So
you're right.
I hear you, but I don't, and then not to mention, man, like we said this before, but that budget for Doom, I looked it up. Doomsday. So, all right, we were talking about Dune versus Doomsday. So Dune, as far as what it's taken to how much money is taken to make Dune, we're looking at $200 million, which is ridiculous. Because I think we were talking about like Oppenheimer. I looked up Oppenheimer. Oppenheimer took about $150 million to make, and that was like not even having that much like action in it. But you know what I mean. But it's Christopher Nolan, and he likes to blast audio to mess up your ears. So nah, I love Christopher Nolan. Let me take that back. But Dune's $200 million. And all the crazy stuff they have in there. You know what I mean? Doomsday is twice that. Doomsday is $400 million. $400 freaking million to make this movie. About maybe a quarter of it is Robert Downey Jr.
like you gotta be
a quarter of it.
How much of that is just Robert Downey Jr.?
Robert Downey Jr. is a quarter.
Like goddamn.
I don't know. I'm messing around about that point, but trust me, with all those damn actors, like 28 of them, that's gonna be significant on the budget, But
But to give all of them a decent amount of screen time, just the people in the trailer, right? It's like they're gonna get wiped out very, very quickly. Like they just have to. They got to get down to the main ones who are gonna set up Secret Wars. But anyway. Yeah, Steve wasn't supposed to be with Carter, apparently, in the main timeline. She was with someone. Yeah, she was with someone else. She had kids and everything. Like, she had a whole life. And, like, he's just okay with wiping out that whole family.
I know, right? Damn, I didn't think about that.
Yes.
Fuck those kids.
Fuck them kids and that husband. I was like, dude, you messed up so many things. I'm more worried about Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man version getting killed in Doomsday. Yeah. There will be a Spider-Man. It won't be Tom Holland. They're saving Tom Holland for Secret Wars. Like I feel strongly about that. But I can see them wiping out like Toby, and maybe Andrew Garfield just one more time, and being like, thank you for your service.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about seeing Wolverine in the reboot X-Men either. He needs a long break. We talked about that. We're like, anyway, we'll talk about that when we get to X-Men. So Doomsday. How do you feel like it's gonna be like Infinity War, where like it's a big loss because the Russo brothers are doing both movies again?
Yeah.
So I feel
like it's gonna be like that. That's why when you're saying like, oh, well, all these characters and whatnot, like they're going to need significant time. I was like, no, they're just going to do exactly what they did in Infinity War. You know what I mean? Like he was like, yeah, show T'Challa, and with like just like he showed T'Challa when Steve Rogers needed to hide out somewhere, and so we saw him. It's like, oh, here's T'Challa. Oh, here's Shuri. You see him for like a couple minutes. They talk for a couple minutes, and then boom, bye, go to the Guardians, and then Guardians like, who's this honky man? They're like, oh, he's so manly and so Thor, like and then it's going to be doing a whole ping 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 ping. Type deal of a lot of the characters. However, it looks like it'd probably be more character. Well, I feel like certain characters we saw in Infinity Wars will not be in this film. We'll get Paul Rudd, for example, but I don't think we're going to necessarily get like Wasp, for example. You know what I mean?
No.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So we'll get characters like that. Like you just said, the whole thing about Spider-Man or whatnot. Hell, I'm even thinking like, are we even going to see most of the new Guardians of that?
No.
You know what I mean? So, or any of the Guardians,
or even Hulk. I'm more about the core characters. Like Hulk, like if you're taking on Doom, you should have Hulk and Captain Marvel on your side to make this somewhat of a fair fight. Neither one of them are going to be in this movie. Like, and it's a shame though, because if you got Black Panther, right? So that's the other thing, real quick, as we talk about character, like Shuri is really getting the short end of the stick to me, because in Black Panther 2, she became Queen and she became Black Panther. Neither role she wanted. It was thrust upon her as her family members died, and we understand that. But they're solely stripping all of that away, right? So now M'Baku is king, and she's just Black Panther / tech genius, you know what I'm saying? And then that's going to get stripped away from her by Black Panther 3, because then her nephew's going to become Black Panther. So it's like she's losing these types of. Is
it being stripped, or is this her just kind of just relinquishing it? I think there's a difference, because remember she said it, like if you watch, because I remember I rewatched Wakanda Forever and watched it. She really did not want to sit. She felt like she had to. You know what I mean? Because she had to save Wakanda from the
Namor.
The T'Cholians. The T'Cholians, Namor.
Yeah.
But yeah, truly. I mean, because I know hell, even in the comics, like there was like at one point she really, which is kind of ironic, even how she became Black Panther in the comics, because it's very similar. But T'Challa in the comics was nearly killed by Dr. Doom, ironically enough, and that's how she became the Black Panther. So so then she got the powers and became Black Panther. So she became the primary Black Panther, and then T'Challa got better and whatnot, and then Shuri decides to leave and go just to battle some other entity or whatever, at like even a different world or whatever, but still with the Black Panther power. So she was still the Black Panther, but it was like two Black Panthers. If that makes any sense?
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's say Black Panther for Black Panther, because I went doing phases. So anything else? Hold on. I want to see Chris Evans to also be the Human Torch. I want to also.
He dead. Human Torch is dead. Don't you remember?
Yeah, like they did kill him, man. But I wanted, to your point, I wanted all three of them.
Michael, you want Michael B?
Michael B. Jordan. I wanted him, Chris Evans, and Michael B. Jordan, especially when the multiverse was the idea. Yeah. I'm like, you could have 3 Fantastic Fours lined up, like all of them are alive, and that would be epic. Like to be, I really wanted, especially the torches, hilarious. Like I'm sure Michael B. Jordan with enough money would have came back for a quick cameo as the Human Torch next to Chris Evans, next to the new guy. Like that oh shit.
And then all of a sudden he just like, he goes from one hand to the other. It's like, here I am, I'm passing the torch to you.
Oh, look at that. I was like, you can do that. The writers of Endgame did tease the idea in the past that Peggy's husband was always Steve, but the Russo brothers always argued against it. Nah, that doesn't make sense. You can't, continuity wise, it just doesn't make sense. But I don't know. It's just I would love. I wonder how Wolverine variant from Deadpool and Wolverine would react to seeing the X-Men in Doomsday since he were dead.
I don't know. They should be. They should bring back.
Did you see at the end, like at the end of the panel, the video I showed you, I share with you at the end. One of the last video messages was from Hugh Jackman.
Yes,
background
with the
hostage,
hostage video.
Hey, yeah, they're like, it's like, yeah, y'all. It's like, did y'all need some help? I know y'all ran out the cast, but you know, y'all got room. Yeah.
So I feel for that. Let me do my next thing. So I feel like that's maybe Secret Wars. So that's December 27. So I think December next year they may open it up.
Exactly 1 year from December. Okay, exactly 1 year from Doomsday. Okay, yeah. See, I got kids now, man. It's hard for me to keep up with dates now.
Yes. So the next, it's only one.
So they must be filming at the same time.
Yeah, I saw you say that they must have filmed both movies back to back, because you can't get all these actors running around, right? And you have to keep them together, right? Yeah. And the Russo brothers know how to do this, right? So they're like, the formula between Infinity War and Endgame, so they're gonna try to do the same thing with Doomsday and Secret War. But I feel like this is where you get the Hulk and Wolverine fight. I can see those two kind of being together, because I think it's also Battle World. I think this is where we get Battle World, as I'm understanding.
Yeah.
So but you can't have Hulk. You can't have Deadpool. That's what I'm trying to think of. Deadpool is a different character, right? Like, you can't have a rated R Secret Wars, and there's no way they're gonna let Deadpool be PG-13. Like, I don't think Ryan will allow him.
They were able to do that with Punisher. And I feel like Ryan Reynolds. So Ryan Reynolds fought for the movies to be rated R, but I'm sure Ryan Reynolds will be okay with like even having a running joke, just like they did on Punisher, having a running joke with him about the curse and
yeah,
you know what I mean. It could be, I'm sure PG-13 is not going to stop Deadpool from being in it or whatnot, and then every time he tries to cuss or whatnot, someone like randomly yells or something, or he's like, or Doctor Strange puts a spell on him where every bad word turns into or something ridiculous.
Okay.
Or something.
All right.
I don't know. I'm just saying. I don't.
So are you familiar with Secret Wars, and therefore who has to be in it to make Secret Wars the story happen?
Well, shoot, Spider-Man, Spider-Man's, X-Men definitely. See, okay, so the whole point of the Secret Wars, the reason why the creators even made Secret Wars to begin with, is because of, like you said, the continuity, and then some of these characters they wanted to shift. They wanted to kind of shift certain characters and certain characters' arc, and the whole idea of certain characters don't kill and all this other stuff, or they want to do a new version of Spider-Man this and whatnot. And that was the only way to really do that, is to have certain worlds collide where we still want maybe the old version of this particular X-Men, but then have this version of the Hulk still be in it. You know what I mean? And yeah, so the Hulk definitely needs to be in it. Pretty much, yeah. I mean, I'm trying to think of characters that we already have that needs to be in it, other than because Secret Wars was literally the entire. It's like Marvel versus Marvel. It was like the entire universe fighting to stay alive. You know what I mean?
Right.
Hulk fighting side by side with his cousin She-Hulk and Samson, and fighting other powerful beings, and Captain Marvel doing her thing. And to ask who needs to be in Secret Wars, the answer is yes.
Everyone.
Spider-Man and X-Men are the biggest ones because, and I only say the biggest ones because they were the biggest reason why the writers really wanted to change certain things and whatnot. So yeah.
So and that goes to Brand New Day, the way it ended, because he goes to space, right? Like the icon of Spider. So that's why we were saying he's probably heading to Secret Wars. He won't be in Doomsday, but Tom Holland will be in Secret Wars. But then that would probably so that brings Toby and Andrew to kind of flush out the the rest of the Spider-Man, the old X-Men. So maybe Patrick and Ian make it to Secret Wars and then they die. Yeah. Hey, maybe they bring back Jason and Michael for that one. They kill off the old versions, but then bring back the younger versions.
Yeah.
So this way they both get a movie. They both get acknowledged.
Oh yeah, both, and then we bring both Quicksilvers back.
You could have both Quicksilvers in there. Yep. Now that Disney owns all of it, right? So you got that on the table. Henry Cavill could come back to play a version of Wolverine with enough money. And that could be a thing.
Two controversial actors I'm about to bring up. I'm sure I know what the answer is. Terrence Howard and Edward Norton. Are they coming back?
As long as Kevin Feige's alive, there's no way Ed Norton is coming back. there's no fucking way. Yeah. Like, sorry, no. Like, I think on both sides they would be like, "Nah, we're kidding." Okay. Like Eric Bana, I could just got a nostalgia, but I don't think anybody really remembers like his Hulk. Like that shit was hilarious. I mean, but I don't. Yeah,
I only say that because it would be dope to have like Hulk versus Hulk type of deal. But then, but I guess technically all you need is them fighting someone like Abomination again. Yeah, or something, so
and all those are still on the table. Also, wait a minute. Hugh Jackman coming back as Wolverine in the X-Men. Chris and I talked about that. It'd be weird as fuck, bro. They cannot. We said this. Hugh Jackman, the actor, damn near has to die for them to be like, we're gonna recast Wolverine. They will not do it while he's still alive. Like people will riot. Like I feel like Wolverine will not even be on the screen for a while. Just so they can be like, okay, Hugh Jackman truly hung up his claws and he's like, we're done with this. And then, but he won't. I don't think we'll see a Wolverine with the new X-Men for at least the first couple of movies. Like I don't. To me, because it's too weird. Like you said, the time ages are just too wrong.
Well, not to mention they're going younger route too. So if they're going a younger route, that means they're going to do it to like right from the beginning, like right when Xavier opens a school and whatnot. And
but like
and he's not.
Logan is like 100-something years old. So like
but Logan's not part of the whole like part of like when they're much younger. You know what I mean?
When they first start off. Logan only becomes part of it when like the Jeans and Cyclops becomes professors themselves. You know what I mean? It's like yeah. So and I think the characters need room to breathe. Like because once you bring Wolverine into it, it becomes his movie, and everybody else just happens to be there. You know what I'm saying? And so with this so again, we saw Cyclops, we saw Professor X. They even got Gambit. Shannon Tatum gets to be Gambit, which is hilarious. Do we get Storm? Is Halle Berry coming back? Do you think the original Jean
I think so.
Back?
I'm sure she is. She's still making. Yes. I'm gonna just say Halle Berry's coming back.
All right. So for one last death.
She came back from Days of Future Past, and she had like a bit role in that, but she came back for that.
Yeah, to your point, I'm saying, but also she died. Like they're all those X-Men like died technically, like as they were trying to save the.
Well, hell, but then Patrick Stewart died like 3 times.
Four.
Yeah, he's back again. So
the paychecks are easy.
I guess my point is like death don't mean nothing.
Nothing to these characters. Nothing. The writer said they believe Steve was always with Peggy's husband the entire time. In the meantime. And he was hiding in the main timeline while his young version was frozen in the ice until 2011. It's a whole time loop. We got to let that kind of crap go.
Oh, but you know what? You want to talk about someone who was done wrong? You like talking about like the whole not having like the first class, like the James McAvoy was done dirty. No, who needs to be redeemed? It's freaking Darwin. The whole the dude who's playing Mr. Terrific. I know, and that's why I'm thinking like maybe he won't come back because he spoke out against Disney. When I heard, I was like, damn, man, before like when he was like talking, because he killed it as Mr. Terrific, but I was thinking the whole time that was the thing that was so distracting from that movie. When I saw First Class, and because I knew all about Darwin, when I saw that he just died, I was like, he's coming back, right? Because there's no way that all of a sudden, like Kevin Bacon just does a little footloose thing in his mouth, and then he just dead. Like there's nothing. There's no way. Darwin is literally immortal. Like he's one of the most powerful mutant there is. behind Richards. You know what I mean? Like, you know, it's yeah, it doesn't make sense.
So. It doesn't
make sense. Also, they did him dirty. So,
but like, I mean, no, you're absolutely right. I mean, I hate to be like the black character got killed off in the first movie and just kept it moving, but he was the character to get killed off in the first movie. Yeah, so, but all of them died between 1 and 2. like all, but Mystique. So again, Jennifer Lawrence is not coming back as second Mystique, and that's
she died in the last film, didn't she?
Well, I mean, they're all
Dark Phoenix. She died.
Yeah. But I mean, it's all time travel.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. True. You know, I like how I said Patrick Stewart died 3 times, and I'm over here talking about Jennifer Lawrence character died.
She died. So it's like, how many Mystiques do we actually need? I don't know about that one. But no, Darwin can literally adapt to anything. How's he going?
But you know what? Speaking of oh shoot, what was the character? Mystique. So one of the cast. Okay, so I guess we're officially talking about X-Men, obviously. Okay.
Hold on. We got to get to the next one. I got symbols.
Right,
okay, so then yeah.
So we're still talking about Secret Wars, and then
we're still doing Secret Wars. We're still doing Secret Wars.
Okay. All right.
Anything else for Secret Wars? Because I
mean, the only other thing I can think with Secret Wars is, I mean, we were talking about Black Panther. T'Challa's son. It's just going to be a much bigger version. I guess my prediction is for Secret Wars is his like the teenager or I guess he's not a teenager, like the young adult version will probably come to our world, or at least our Wakanda version or whatnot, or something like that. Because apparently, especially looking at the cast list, and it's going to be, was it Johnson, the kid who's playing the new Black Panther, as well as the
original
Shuri,
and
Mako
and everything, like, so
the ones that they're all going to be in the same film as well. Yeah. So something tells me, because I'm just thinking like this. It wasn't like this was like Black Panther 2 was before Infinity War, where you can be like, oh, remember it was a 5-year gap, and and then it was another 3 years after that, for us to kind of believe this is. Now I was like, nah, bro, Wakanda Forever was like 2022 or something like that. Yeah. So
I'm sorry, the Thunderbolts. Fuck are they at?
Oh yeah,
we're the Thunderbolts. Like, you can't if you got. Where's Sam Wilson as New Falcon? Where's the Thunderbolts? Because they got Sentry. So shouldn't Sentry be coming to the table?
Yeah, I don't see. This is why I don't know. I don't. So I think this is what I think is going to possibly happen. Well, Sentry will come to the table. I think, but characters like Sentry and characters like Captain Marvel are still going to get their ass kicked, because what we saw at the end of Fantastic Four, if Doom takes one of the most powerful beings in the universe, that kid takes Ben. No, not Ben.
Franklin. Franklin.
Yes,
Richards.
Franklin. I don't know why I said Ben. Franklin Richards. Sentry can't. You're all fucked. Everyone's screwed. Okay, everyone's screwed. Sentry, Captain Marvel, Hulk. You got basically, if Doom is able to more, I don't know how they're going to play this, but if like somehow they make it where like Doom is like maybe like kind of do what they did in Game of Thrones with what's that character's name that we just saw who hates seeing blood and vomits, who winds up getting
Orman Hightower.
Orman, yeah, and him trying to groom that kid or whatever. I think he's going to try to groom Franklin, and then just be like, it's we see Sentry, Warlock, Captain Marvel coming, guns hot, and they were like, hey, Franklin, take care of it, and then Franklin just and then just like nothing, you know what I mean? But to your point, the Thunderbolt's gonna be there. There's no. I mean, hell, you got one of them. They ran and go and throw one of them.
No, I'm sorry. No, they are there. I mean, they're in the trailer. So like, this is. Yeah. I don't know why. I guess I'm saying more Sentry, because they're in the damn trailer. Everybody's meeting up at the new Avengers Tower, which belongs to the Thunderbolts. So this is not a guessing. I'm just saying, as I was talking about the powers, I'm like, where is Sentry? since the Thunderbolts are there. This is confirmed. So
probably with Captain Marvel off-world trying to help other universes because remember, we're not the only
ones out there. We're not the only ones out there.
Yeah.
I just but like, so to your point, okay, so this is a good time to talk about, like, you talk about Hulk and Secret Wars and Battle World.
Mm-hmm.
Where is She-Hulk? Where is Hulk's son? Like, they wiped these characters out of the MCU's existence.
That's what I'm wondering. I was about to ask that question. Like, are they gonna make it like they just didn't?
None of that happened. I know we didn't talk about this on camera. None of that happened, because how is Bruce Banner back on Earth as himself when he's supposed to be in space with his cousin and his son?
Okay.
That's the last time we saw him.
Right.
And none of this is acknowledged. Like,
none was acknowledged, yeah.
They wiped all of that out, bro. They're like, shh. It was on TV. Who saw it?
Yeah, which is a shame. You know what? It's interesting because I thought they would keep it. Seeing how, like for example, like Rob was talking about Sam Wilson's outfit and Falcon Winter Soldier. We saw the Wakandans like build his outfit. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And then we saw that he gave it to what's his name? Rios, his sidekick.
Yeah, the new Falcon. The new Falcon.
When we saw Brave New World, we didn't get like another backstory, as if like, in case you didn't see Disney Plus, you know what I mean? So it was kind of like one of those things where it was like, you kind of had to, if you're curious about how all of a sudden he has the suit,
you have to watch the TV show.
You kind of had to watch it, like who this young guy is that's next to him. You know what I mean? I thought that was probably going to be the thing with She-Hulk, because I was thinking like, that's a big deal. The dude came back with Scar, his son. Like, that's a big deal. But it wasn't very promising when like he shows up at the cookout and the homie's like, hey, like, what? Like Scar? I was like, no. I was like, oh, hell no. What are we doing with this? So I don't know, man. I feel like that's going to be what wiped away. Moon Knight, I guess, is Moon Knight going to be wiped away too? You know,
Moon Knight, the Eternals just didn't happen. They're just moving on.
Yo, the Eternals. Oh my God, the Eternals. That's the shit, man. Talk about like stuff that happened at the end and post-credit scenes that just meant nothing.
Nothing.
Well, also, Jesus.
Well, but no, I feel like they definitely have left She-Hulk and anything that happened in that. Also, we can go back to Daredevil season 2, who also Matt Murdock didn't mention his trip to San Francisco, so you got to keep that in mind.
That's a good point.
So like also she did, but it's a multiverse also.
She did what you mean?
Talking about Mystique and how she died.
It
has to be a time skip because T'Challa Jr. is a kid right now. Yeah. I don't see how Kang Dynasty meant nothing either. Doomsday was supposed to be his movie, but Doom took it instead. So like to their credit, the way they're shoving all this stuff at the end, like, it's still pretty impressive that people are like, I'm committed to this. No, I want to look up Shang-Chi, because as we talk about Shang, so when was his his sequel, which hasn't come.
You mean when is it scheduled to come out?
No. When was his movie?
2021.
Yeah, I was
going to say 2021, or I guess in the middle of COVID. Never mind.
Right. So like, you're right, because he was supposed to come out in February in 2020, and they pushed it to 2021. Like he's Black History Month, which that was a whole other thing when the thing was put out. But talk about disrespect. Like, of all the Marvel characters who got crapped on, Shang-Chi is that character, bruh. Like, everybody got sequels except for him. He had a successful movie. It wasn't like he failed. Like, he had a successful standalone movie, and they crapped on him. He's a side character in Doomsday, and maybe he'll be a side character.
Sam Wilson didn't get a sequel.
Which one?
Sam Wilson didn't get a sequel to his movie.
I I disagree. Again, he's been in many movies, and now he got his own movie. I mean, he got a TV show. He was in 3 movies, and he got a TV show. Much more than Shang-Chi, bro. Like Shang-Chi just got
Shang-Chi was in What If,
and so was Sam. Like, but no. What if was awesome. But I'm sorry. Let's move on to the big announcement was X-Men. X-Men coming in May. So a summer movie of 28. The cast has been
a day before my birthday. A day before my birthday.
Look at
May
that.
6th. May
happy birthday to you. What did you think of the new X-Men casting?
Interesting. No, I mean, I was okay with it. So here's the deal. I was more once I saw who Sadie Sink was in Spider-Man: Brand New Day, because that kind of surprised me more than anything. When I saw how young they took Jean Grey, that kind of maybe lessened the surprise as far as how young they made everyone else.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But for the most part, I'm all right with what they have. Well, a couple caveats. I mean, obviously, I think Sadie's going to kill it. I don't know about the kid. I don't know about the dude that's playing Scott Summers, but he kind of looks like him, so I'm okay there. The girl that's playing I forgot the girl's name, but was playing Emma Frost.
Yes.
Great casting. If y'all have not seen the movies Ready or Not, and you don't think that she can play Emma Frost and be a boss, watch that film. And what she did, I did not. Now, granted, I did not see the sequel. I heard she was awesome in that one too. But that first one, which I didn't expect nothing out of, she was amazing. And that told me, I'm like, oh damn. I was like, I don't know anything about this actress, but but yeah, she's great. The one where I was kind of surprised about, and I heard her name getting whispered as far as being an X-Men, but thought that it was going to be more towards Mystique, was Indy Navarrete, who's playing Rogue. Her, obviously, she's had an incredible year, in the movie Obsession and whatnot. A lot of people, including myself, I was surprised when I heard it, but I'm not mad because I personally thought she was going to play Mystique. I just knew she was going to play Mystique because I think she even teased that she was, but seeing how her character was in Obsession, I was thinking like, oh yeah, I can see her being a Mystique. But then when I heard she was Rogue, I was like, I think I was like everyone else, like, oh, she's playing Rogue. But then the more I thought about it, I'm like, okay, I ain't mad. I'm not mad at it. I know a lot of people online getting really angry that that other actresses was passed up on Rogue and saying like, oh, she's not tall enough. Rogue is supposed to be kind of like tall and whatnot. So when she goes up to a person's face and hit them with full force, you actually believe it. I'm like, you know what? Y'all keep forgetting that when it comes to the MCU, they don't do y'all's favorite depictions, okay?
Yeah.
Like let's not forget the biggest discrepancy in the comic books, which everyone loves though when it comes to the movies, is Hugh Jackman as Wolverine.
Yeah.
Wolverine is supposed to be like 5'3", okay? 5'3" or 5'2" or something. Hugh Jackman is like 6'2", okay? So stop it. No one ever complains about that. No one ever complains about height any other time, but the internet is going to be the internet, and because they want their other favorite person to play it a certain role, then so be it. But no, I think she's going to be really good at playing Rogue. She's always was like one of my as far as TV show goes in X-Men, she was always one of my favorite characters, and I think it's great. Them having Rogue in this tells me I think Captain Marvel is going to be in this film. You know what I mean? I feel like, because Rogue, the Rogue that we know, that means Captain Marvel has to be in it, because that's how Rogue becomes what, like, powerful, because she basically essentially pretty much kills or almost kills Captain Marvel essentially. Okay. So, you don't think so? No.
They done with all those characters.
True. All right. To your point, maybe there'll be something. Maybe she'll drain someone else. They're gonna need somebody. They need to drain somebody. Maybe
she just has it. She just has it. They just show it with the powers, and they don't know how to use it, and that's what Charles is.
No, that's not how her power. No. There's certain things. There's certain characters in the Marvel universe you can change certain things X-Men, but people be livid if you start fucking around with the X-Men characters, okay? And Rogue is one of them. Rogue's only power is that she drains people's powers, right? And then it becomes her own.
We saw that in the original
X-Men.
Huh? We saw that in the original X-Men, and there was no Captain Marvel. So,
but she wasn't. But no. But what I'm saying is, if this, I guess the point I'm trying to make is, if it's going to be the Rogue where like she's flying, if it's the Rogue that's flying, then it has to be Captain Marvel. But okay, fine. If you're talking about Anna Paquin, fine. If we're doing Anna Paquin, okay, all right. So,
all right.
But Maya Boyd, I've never seen her before. She's playing Storm. That one I think I was more surprised about, or one of the surprises, because for some reason I was always under the impression when it comes to Storm, I always felt that Storm and Beast were like the two adults when it came to Charles' school. Like I thought Charles was probably a little bit older than Charles was a little bit older than everyone, but Charles and Hank McCoy is almost about the same age. You know what I mean? Somewhat. And then, but Storm was right there. But okay, I get it, and see how young she is. I'm like, all right, that means now it's starting to make me look at Black Panther 3 again and be like she gonna be in Wakanda. You know what I mean? She's looking like to be in about the same age as Johnson, who's playing the new.
So with the timeline that Black Panther 3 comes out after X-Men, so after Storm is established, in the MCU, Ryan could allow her to come to his Wakanda. As we discussed, he don't like to interchange his characters. He likes to keep his characters segregated. Wakanda is in itself. And there's been no MCU character who's ever come to any Ryan Coogler movie. Black Panther.
Well, I guess the point is, but they did a whole thing with Namor, which I was surprised about. The fact that they even put like a character like Namor in a Ryan Coogler thing, I don't really buy that anymore. You know what I mean? I understand how you got there until I saw the sequel. You know what I mean?
But again, you saw no other Marvel characters we did.
We saw what's the face? We saw Ulysses Claw. We saw Claw. That was in the Age of Ultron, and then he was brought back in the first Black Panther film.
None of the major Avengers showed up to T'Challa's funeral. My point. Like Black Panther 1 was an insular movie. It was like establishing Wakanda.
But none of the Avengers are like actually okay. So here's the thing about Ryan Coogler. Ryan Coogler is a lot of times is always about the culture when it comes to present day stuff. So I feel like Storm. No, so to your point, no, there ain't gonna be no Cyclops going to Wakanda. To your point, but I have a feeling that I don't see Ryan Coogler be like, you know what? Let's excommunicado this African queen.
No, but that's what I said.
I don't see that.
He will allow Storm, as I said, he will allow Storm to come to his universe
because you got to remember, like what they kept saying in the first two films of Wakanda. Anytime, especially when they see a white character coming through, they're like colonizers. You know what I mean? It just gives them a bad thing because they're like, yo, like y'all enslaving the black people, even though it's ironic because if you know the history as far as that, that's neither here and there.
That's nothing.
But the colonizer thing, I think, was kind of very telling in a sense. So technically speaking, like you ain't gonna be no colonizing if you're thinking about like Storm coming in. You know what I mean?
She's the only one. My point. She's the only Avengers hero that will be allowed in a Black Panther movie. That's what I'm saying. Like that's what I'm trying to get to. It won't be the Thunderbolts. It won't be any of the major Avengers.
They won't even be Sam Wilson because Sam over here like putting on that red, white, and blue. Like
that's also true.
You working for the colonizer. You made you the suit, and you were
Captain America. He will not step foot in Wakanda.
Yeah, you forgot about your lineage, son.
Yo, that's disrespectful. That's really disrespectful. Like anyway. We'll get to Black Panther in a minute. But
and then so I don't know about the gentleman playing Charles, but I will say this: Adam Driver. The only controversial thing I think they made was Adam Driver playing
Mr.
Sinister. I don't. Okay, here's the deal. I think he's a good actor. I personally think he's a little bit overrated myself, but okay, you know what I mean. I feel like the casting of Sinister and having Driver play it, when I feel like it's like one of those things where like we got to have a big name person in this. I feel like it's one of those things where it's like we have a lot of these no name characters in maybe one character that you might have seen in Stranger Things, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, we need to have this established character to play the villain. You know what I mean? I feel like that's what that casting is. I don't know.
Well, they've been trying to get him, as they said, into an MCU movie for a long time. I feel like a lot of it is actually coming from Star Wars. I think they're trying to get that Kylo Ren crowd who know him from that, and to bring that energy to this role. And they're gonna and I feel like that's why they picked him. He's in the Disney like world, and it's like, let's just put that over here. He's played brooding before, you know what I'm saying, and evil, menacing before, you know what I'm saying. So I feel like I think that's probably where it came from. I
mean, okay, because you worked with a guy in the past. I mean, okay, what? Like, I mean, but if that's the case, to your point, then why don't they just put every other person that they had as the X-Men characters? You see what I'm saying? Like, no,
but you see, know what I mean? They needed the big name because most of those actors are low level. I mean,
and this is where Disney slips for me. Disney, when they and I told you this was the problem I had, was a year and a half ago, when all of a sudden they were so desperate after the whole Jonathan Majors thing that they had to do the Robert Downey Jr. route. I forgot the name of the video that we filmed for that one. I don't know. You probably had to like type in Iron Panther Presents and Marvel or Doom or something like that. But Disney always does this crap where there's like, they don't feel so confident or something, and then their default is to throw a bunch of money at a well-established, like, famous actor just in case, you know, which is if y'all think that's not what they were doing with Robert Downey Jr., y'all just,
you know that's what they were doing.
Y'all are so in denial. Like, you know, I mean, it's a little cheap. I'm not gonna lie, it's a little cheap. Will I still watch it? Absolutely.
Yes.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? But still, you know what I mean? But the thing is, we had said they mad about Rogue casting, obviously. Hasn't seen the fan. Yeah. I mean, yeah, the fan it's like, because they had the other girl that happens to be with the guy who's playing the new Black Panther, and it was an Alien Romulus. I think her name's Kaylee something. I forgot her last name. I think she would have been a good Rogue. I think she's a really good Rogue option too. And it would be kind of awesome if they kind of had Rogue and Black Panther meet back up again and be like brother, sister again, which would be kind of ironic, you know.
They wanted Harry Potter to be Wolverine. He's the right size, I guess. Kiki Palmer as Rogue.
Oh no, that'll be seen as too woke. We can't do that. We can't do that.
Captain America and Black Panther did have a rivalry in the BET 2010 Black Panther show.
Did they?
They did?
2010. Wait, 2010.
Oh, the cartoon. I'm assuming cartoon.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I thought you meant okay. Yeah. All right. We said BET. For some reason, I was thinking like an award show. And
well, no, I thought like live action. So I was even more confused myself. Why didn't they didn't even have a Robert Downey Jr. back? Yeah, didn't have to get Robert Downey Jr. back. All they had to do was recast Kang. But also, we talked. It was called the Mutant Saga. We did a video after they said Deadpool was starting the Mutant Saga. Is how they tried to phrase it. It's really the Doomsday Saga, I guess. Kang as a character was not threatening enough. Like, once Ant-Man beat him, you're not building 2 movies off of that. Like, where you need the Avengers to come in. Like, that's just not. That don't make any sense. So like they and then Loki beat him on the TV show. I mean, he took over time itself. You know what I'm saying? It's like, where do you go from there? You know, at that point. So I feel like Jonathan Majors actually helped out Marvel because they gave him a way out. It's not their fault.
I hear you. And to your point, yeah, I was a little bit surprised when they announced the Kang Dynasty. To your point, so yeah, Doom would have. Yeah, Doom is if you're going to go from Thanos, it would have been one thing if they would start off with Kang. If they did Loki, then Kang, then Thanos, then, you know what I mean? But
right, you build up, you know, and to threats.
Yeah.
But X-Men real quick. I want to talk about X-Men and connecting it back to characters we probably never see again. The Marvels, which we actually liked. I thought it was a decent movie. The post-credit scene was Photon running into Beast. Her mom's a version of her mom is Captain Marvel, and I thought it was another one, but at least Beast was there. I do remember that.
It was Beast. Yeah, it was Beast, her mom, who was that version of Captain Marvel.
Yes, which connects to Multiverse of Madness. I do, if I remember correctly. I thought Peggy was there, but at least Beast. We saw Beast. My point is, she's the only one I think that made it to the Fox universe to meet a Fox X-Men, and like, we're probably never seeing that character again. Or any of those Marvels. Like,
I don't know, Secret Wars. I don't know. I can see Secret Wars. You know, Photon, especially. You know, I mean, Photon's powers. You know, Photon can literally open up universes. You know what I mean? So,
if they remember the Marvel, if they're willing to acknowledge the movie. And not being funny, if they're willing to acknowledge it, maybe she's the one that helps bring the worlds together, right? We also got to remember Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness, because that's where he did the incursion, right? It was Charlize Theron's character that came and gave him the third eye, and then he went off to start this thing. I thought he was the one.
Hell, is she coming back?
I think they forgot about that shit too. This would be the second time that a Doctor Strange ending meant nothing, because the first one he was supposed to fight his friend, and he walked off into the night, never to be seen or heard from again.
Yeah.
So, but what do you and we talk about this. What do you think about the fact that they're starting off with Sinister and not Eric?
I think so I don't think that necessarily means that they're not having Eric in it, because if you remember, especially if you watch the video, so there's D23 videos that's online. There's one that's uploaded that was like filmed by like an audience member, and you can hear Kevin Feige actually saying these are like some of this, like a lot of these actors like we just was just hired on. We haven't, these are just some of the cast. Matter of fact, I just met some of them backstage just for the very first time just now. But the fact he says this is just some of the cast, you know what I mean? I don't think there's no way, there's no Charles without an Eric, and vice versa. So I'm sure there's going to be an Eric in there. To your point, there's going to be an Eric in it, and seeing how young they are making it. Not only that, matter of fact, wait, they confirmed it. They confirmed it because one of the things that, and how I remember that they confirmed it, that Magneto's going to be in it, got a lot of people pissed off because people are upset because apparently this Magneto now is they're not going to do the whole Holocaust survivor thing, which people are upset, but then they're like, but then you got to remember, like, guys, these are much, unless you get Ian McKellen back, which he still kind of is not technically old enough.
He's not old enough to be World War II.
Yeah, it don't make any sense, y'all. Like, you know what I mean? Because they were saying that they want to do like
a modern
day trauma that he went through.
Oh,
Modern day, yeah, that was more modern day. You know what I mean? And but people were pissed. So they pretty much so they confirmed Magneto is going to be in it, but we just don't know who and what the premise. But other than the villain is going to be straight up Mr. Sinister, which actually, when I sat on it, it makes sense. First, I was like, Mr. Sinister, but then I was like, nah, if you want to talk about introducing mutants and talk about mutating bloods and actually creating other beings from you, that is Mr. Sinister. Mr. Sinister is the man, or was a man, before he turned himself into the crazy vampire looking dude, because he injected himself with the DNA that he stole from other mutants. He started he researches mutants everywhere. You know what I mean? And he's the scientist. He's a very, was it Nathan? Nathan Ethics is his name, which we actually saw Easter egg in Amazing Spider-Man 2 with Andrew Garfield, which was supposed to become a thing with Mr. Sinister. And then they just decided not to go anywhere with it. But big time scientist when it comes to genetics, and finds the whole thing about mutants, and he found that there's mutants that literally he's like, you know what, mutants can actually do more for the world. So his mission is to find mutants, experimenting on them, a lot of times having them die in the process, and create other variant mutants of it. You know what I mean? And try to make himself powerful as well. You know what I mean? So seeing how mutants are now coming in the picture, who would be the one to kind of be like the master of knowing everything about mutants? It's Dr. Essex, Mr. Sinister, himself. So I'm all right with it, especially seeing how it's always got to be Magneto or whatnot. No, you can have Magneto be kind of like someone like the bully in the background or whatnot, whatever. But having Mr. Sinister be the main bad guy, and everyone, even the Brotherhood, kind of all go against Sinister, take him out, and then all of a sudden maybe Magneto goes too far or whatnot, and then that can be the clash where like now we got like the whole us versus them. You know what I mean? I feel like that's a nice little retelling rather than just do the same thing that they always do. Hey, Eric, I don't like what you're doing. Shut up, Charles. Stop telling me what to do. You know what I mean? And then now we fight. Like, no, it's a nice. It's breaking it up a little bit. It's a little bit nice, especially seeing what they're doing with X-Men '97. What they're doing this what they did with the new season, that everyone likes the whole fact that Magneto is the head of the X-Men. You know what I mean? People are like, oh, this is different. People like variations. You know what I mean? And I feel like this is a great variation, especially seeing how the word mutant is so brand new now. You know what I mean? And having Nathan Essex explain it to us as the audience and actually make sense of it makes perfect sense. You know what I mean?
So with testing on mutants, right? If they go that route, which I doubt they will do this, then this is where Miss Marvel comes back into play, because technically she's the first mutant in the MCU. So he could experiment on her to bring her character back. Namor could be also one of his victims. Like they could bring that character back, like to kind of remember what they did across their properties. Like that would be kind of interesting way to tie that mutant thing together.
He starts small. He starts small. Like try to get the smaller one. Like think of like the ones that he can catch. You know what I mean? And part of it he kind of puts into his own DNA so that he can get some of the powers himself, so he can become more stealthier or whatnot. You know what I mean? And then he gets like the bigger fish. You know what I mean? So
that's what
so if you're going like this young, like you're having like this new, maybe not Jean Grey necessarily yet, even though that becomes like his golden goose. Mr. Sinister's golden goose is literally Jean Grey and Cyclops. And he's actually the reason why how both of them like wound up
making a kid.
And
making cable.
And then just like in him, so he thinks like that's the, but yeah, Jean Grey is like his master, like the golden goose that he's always want to get, because that's like seems the most powerful mutant there ever is. So
they need to acknowledge that she's a murderer. Like they need to acknowledge Brand New Day. I'm gonna be mad. Like Charles needs to be like, I saw that was some wild shit you did.
They won't. They know we're like, you know what? In New York, I heard a lot of people, and then and unless it got Deadpool in that movie, be like, nah, bitch, not just hurt. Like
let's go back.
They're gonna keep it at just hurt. She just hurt people. That's all it's gonna be, David.
I need them to be like, hey, Peter Parker gave some testimony, and we gotta get you together, girl. But like, to your point, if she is the golden goose, it'd be like it's really all about Jean, right? Like getting Jean under control so she doesn't start hurting more people, and Mr. Sinister doesn't go after her. And to your point, I do love the idea that it's not Magneto. Like we've seen this story before, right? So I do like that. So I do agree. When the MCU eventually gets to the Age of Apocalypse saga, I'm down with anyone playing Apocalypse as long as it's not The Rock. They've been saying he's too old and he ain't about the steroids anymore. So I feel like, and after Black Adam, I'm pretty sure Kevin's like.
No, you mean after Black Adam? How about the last Moana movie that just came out?
Never mind. I'm sorry. Yeah,
exactly. You forgot about it, like the rest of America.
I didn't. Well, I was like, I would. Yeah, you're right. Xavier probably gonna erase Jean's memory from Brand New Day. Be
like, you ain't do nothing wrong.
Like that's not. So so casting. I want to get back to casting and your point of Storm, because I know again years ago when we first started the channel, and I was talking about Storm, what Storm looked like, and I said, is the MCU going to recast Halle Berry? Because ultimately that's what they did with Fox. Like they were they were the younger version, so it made sense once you reminded me of it. But it's like, are they going to go a different direction? And a lot of black influencers about 2 to 3 weeks ago were like, fuck Marvel, they hate us, they're racist. Now all of a sudden they're like, Marvel, you gave us Storm, you love us again, or some shit. But I'm like, but then her skin tone become a thing. I saw people like, is she too dark? Is she too light? You know, like that sort of thing. And it's like, it's sad that we gotta, hey, how's it going? How's it going? But the skin tone does matter. and for a lot of black folks. So to your point of her, like, how does she make it to Black Panther 3? Right? Like, does she fit the culture enough to be like she's good enough to be in Black Panther 3?
I've even seen people in Africa, they ain't all super dark skinned on some ignorant shit like that. You know what I mean? Like have y'all ever gone to Nigeria? You do know there's different shades of even people down there. I mean, over there.
No.
In case y'all did not know this.
I'm just saying, but like, you know? but really to the point of it was really irritating me how much a lot of black influencers again were like, fuck Marvel, they're racist. But I'm like, it's really the women that have gotten screwed over. Like none of those Marvels are coming back. There's been no woman-led anything in the future of the MCU. Like all of that is gone.
I think I'm telling you, Captain. I'm putting bank on it, man. Captain Marvel's coming back, but only just to have her kind of get almost like killed off. But I mean, more like get her powers drained by Rogue. I'm telling you.
Okay, all right.
I'm making that prediction.
All right. So I can
because no joke. Another reason why I say that is because when they first announced that we were even getting Captain Marvel to begin with, the majority of the people online only even knew of Captain Marvel because of Rogue. Like no, I'm not joking. Seriously, look on like pre like Infinity, like literally when Nick Fury, I remember actually even being in theaters. Nick Fury like put that text out, whatever. When you saw the little emblem, people were like, oh my god, it's like, oh, that's Captain Marvel. There was people in the theater saying like, oh, who's Captain Marvel? It's Captain Marvel. It's like, oh, remember the girl in the X that Rogue took the powers from, and that allowed Rogue to be super strong, and it gave her the ability to fly and gave her that white streak in her hair. It's because of her. And they'll be like, oh, yeah, I'm telling you that. I'm sorry, Captain Marvel is only known really for that, and the fact they tried with this, you know, huh?
No, I can hear, but I'm like, America Chavez not coming back. Probably not. Eternals not coming back. She-Hulk not coming back. Like
Moon Knight's not coming back though either. See, you gotta be fair. I understand what you're saying. You know what I mean? I get what you're saying. You know, but the problem is not. I don't even blame the MCU. I blame the comic books because the comic books just never really had like really great female characters straight up. You know what I mean? Like I'm trying to think of the best one that they had like actually in the comics. The two I can think of off of my head is probably like Elektra and maybe Mystique. You know what I mean? Those are like the two strongest female comic book characters I could think of in the Marvel universe. You know what I mean? And then DC has even a worse problem other than Wonder Woman and maybe Amanda Waller. You know what I mean? It's just straight up. That's just what it is, unfortunately.
But I feel like Moon Knight has a slight possibility if Ghost Rider gets off the ground and is successful, and then the Midnight Suns has an opportunity to come together. Like I think it's possible. So I would submit.
And at least there was a She-Hulk. Was there a Blade at all, David?
That was a whole no.
Was there a Blade at all? I mean, Black Widow got her own movie. We just heard a voice of Blade. Okay.
Don't do that. Black Widow is the only MCU movie that went straight to streaming. Don't do that.
But that was because of that. So you do not blame that. Don't blame gender on that one. Blame COVID.
Shang-Chi was also COVID, and they pushed that off and put it in the theaters.
That came later, though. That was like right when we had vaccines.
They were both 2020 products. My point is they pushed it off to put it in the theaters. Is my point. Like they were like, we will wait until we can make this a theater movie. Black Widow is the only property that they said, screw it, we're gonna put it on streaming. And maybe because they want to play Scarlett Johansson, maybe that's what it was. But that is the truth. They were not like.
But then we got Captain Marvel movie. We had Captain Marvel.
And again, we got the Marvels. I mean, I like the Marvels. Yeah. I'm just saying, that's not a video. But I think overall, I feel like X-Men is solid. As someone said in the comments, Wolverine cannot even be acknowledged in this movie because the time gap is just too crazy. and they need to recast them.
I mean, to that point about Wolverine, that is the one I know is kind of far fetched just to say this, but when I saw the casting of Mr. Sinister being Adam Driver, that's what kind of got me a little bit afraid as far as like the whole idea of them not wanting to take certain risk or whatnot. I mean, because I was like all on board, like when I heard like just the dude who played the Wolfman and played one of the he was like one of the villains in the last was it Daredevil shows or whatnot, is now playing Professor X, I think, you know what I mean? I was like, oh, okay, I haven't seen this dude in a while. Okay. I was like, I don't even know the dude's name, which is the point. All right. Same thing with Scott Summers. Same thing for almost everyone. Even I would say this, even for Sadie Sink. I mean, yes, I know she's Max from Stranger Things, but let's be honest. Other than that, a lot of people forget that she was in a little movie called The Whale, you know, and people forget about that too. So she's not even like that big of an actress either. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, Indy Navarrete, people only know her because of Obsession. I guess she was in Superman and Lois TV show when she played Superman's son's one of Superman's kids' girlfriend, whatever. But people just didn't know her by name. And only because a couple what happened, the little movie that came out a couple months ago, people even know her name. That's pretty much it. No one heard about Maya Boyd, but I think this might be her feature film because of her being in Broadway and all this stuff. And then, but you put Adam Driver in it as the main antagonist. I don't know how I feel about that. So that kind of tells me that there might be a mention possibly in Wolverine, because if y'all weren't that confident to also put like maybe someone that's not. Like, I don't know. I don't. It's hard for me to explain. Adam Driver is not a bad actor, but for example, if it was Joaquin Phoenix, right? If it was Joaquin Phoenix and you said, okay, he's playing Mr. Sinister, I would be on board with it because just knowing the range that this dude had. Driver, I don't know. Driver just seems more like, remember him in another Disney property? You know what I mean? And like,
I'm just saying what I know of him.
Desperation.
I'm just saying, I understand what I know of him. He's had a lot of acting range, but he is a one note type of like he's the same in every damn role to me. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't see a lot of to your range in his acting. But again, maybe X-23 is coming back to avoid the Hugh Jackman issue. Maybe, and I saw the rumors too also that she was going to return. And she's an older character. This kind of lends back to the to Deadpool Wolverine movie. To that point. Do you think, just out of nostalgia, any of those characters are going to make it to Secret Wars for no damn reason? The original Elektra, I doubt Wesley Snipes. I doubt Wesley Snipes comes back just to die. But like, do you think they might actually revive some of those? If they got Gambit.
I have a feel. Okay, so this is my take as far as what they did with Wolverine and Deadpool. I have, especially watching those, like the last couple of Deadpool films, I feel like Ryan Reynolds made sure that he was kind of like in charge with a lot of stuff that was able to do, and a lot of it, Fox was now Disney. Fox was like kind of like, okay, it's all on you. You know what I mean? And you know, because there was a lot of infighting going on even to get the first one made. You know what I mean? Because there was different ideas like, oh, I don't like the script, or this should be the scripts. You should do this, and then, you know what I mean. And then just having, and then even the controversial thing of even having Josh Brolin come back to play a different Marvel character, because people were, you know, like apparently there was some infighting about that, saying like, no, we about to have him as Thanos. You want him as Cable or whatnot, and then they were like, no, we'll just make a jab at it, and then it was like issues with that, and they just let him have it. Seeing some of the stuff that was going on behind the scenes, something tells me that even having characters like Blade, because he worked with like Wesley Snipes in the past, you know what I mean? And Made Up, obviously, you know, I feel like a lot of it was just more of like, hey, how about we kind of like giving them like the whole like, okay, one last, you know, swan song type deal. So I feel like that was just him kind of doing him. But then to your point, you said Gambit, I guess, is in Doomsday or something, or whatever.
Yeah, Gambit's in
Doomsday. But I feel, but I guess Channing Tatum, I guess, was supposed to already play Gambit a while back before they kind of pulled the rug underneath his feet. So maybe that was something that was already in the cards already. You know, but yeah, I don't. I guess to really answer your question, probably not. One character though, I think that would be dope to have in Secret Wars, just as of like hey, we didn't forget about you. You know what I mean? Even though we kind of did you wrong slightly, but is Mahershala Ali as Blade, but he's saying a lot of stuff in print media now about it, and then so that's now. So as I'm saying that out loud, I'm now realizing, oh shit, maybe not. But that would be, I think that would have been good. That would have been good. Like that's who I would want. You know, even if he wasn't there like too long or whatnot. Because if you remember, when we were talking about Multiverse of Madness, remember we were talking about that? We were talking about Multiverse of Madness, and we were saying like certain characters we want in there. One of like a couple characters we were talking about was like Ghost Rider, Blade, and then it was like some other characters we brought up.
Yeah, because there was different versions of them. Like we were saying, there's as Blade was gonna get recast, there's 2 versions of Blade, there's 3 versions of the Fantastic Four now. You know what I'm saying? Like they could have they could have built it up for and that 3 Spider-Men, the Punishers, there's 3 Punishers still alive. You know, they could have did that. But again, we don't know. I feel like I'm X-Men. Is X-Men going to start at the base beginning, or are they going to do like Fantastic Four, where like it's a montage of they've gotten some adventures and now let's get into it. Like we are the X-Men. Or are we going to see the founding of the school? Like.
So it comes out in 2028. All right. So 2 years from now. All right. So we see Jean gets on the bus at the end of Spider-Man. We don't know where she's going. I mean, I know people are, she's going to the school, you know. But if Shot in the Dark, I would say is going to be at the very beginning. Because just seeing how young they are. You know what I mean?
So First Class. We're getting the MCU version of First Class.
I think it's going to be First Class. And I feel like the kidnapping of mutants from Mr. Sinister is the thing that kind of groups them together. And Charles having to realizing he has to protect these mutants and realizing that the only way to protect them is to kind of train them, you know what I mean? And to, you know, and in the process of also trying to create equality from other humans as well. Other humans are like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that would be, in my opinion, I feel like that would be the best route to go. You know what I mean? Having this young cast, because I think, because even the girl that's playing Storm, I think she's like 22 in real life, 22 years old. So by the time they start filming, I guess they'll be filming right about now, right? So yeah, they're fairly young. Yeah, well, I guess my question is, because you know how they always cast these 20-something-year-olds and they always put them in like high school. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm
wondering if that's what now I'm thinking about it. Like, is that the route they're going to do? Or is it more like, oh, I'm done with high school and now I'm going to this other school?
It should be young adults to
like a college, like they're going to college. And
college, I feel like there's the college age, but much like you said, First Class, right? You know, if Mr. Sinister is kidnapping mutants, Charles and his friend Eric have to figure out how to collect these mutants up, you know, protect them, train them, and then they're going to be frenemies until they're not, right? Like you said, if Magneto is going to be this, it's going to be First Class, right? Like, so therefore, maybe at some level, Eric agrees with Mr. Sinister, but like you said, he goes too far, and then that's when Magneto becomes who he is, and then that becomes his own thing. So First Class will probably be more the blueprint than the original 2000 X-Men, I would say. And so I can see that. I mean, especially with their ages. But then, so let's move forward to the final thing. And we have Black Panther 3 with T'Challa Jr. Coming in December 2028. What are your thoughts on the new future Black Panther and the movie?
Very, very curious. It's always, I mean, it's always hard to talk about Black Panther sequels without even talking about Chadwick. You know what I mean? Especially with Chadwick no longer being here, because he only had one film, you know what I mean? But it was a very iconic film, you know what I mean? And Ryan, I'll say this, Ryan Coogler, he's been on a rampage when it comes to his run as far as movies lately. So I feel like I'm looking forward to this. I feel like David Johnson is I'm hoping he's not feeling. I mean, I know he's going to be dealing with a lot of pressure behind him, as far as, you know, because essentially he'll be pretty much replacing Chadwick, essentially. But I am really looking forward to it. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. You got Shuri, Ryan, T'Challa with Kevin and M'Baku. I'm looking forward to it. I'm wondering the route, like we said, this is going to be after what, Secret Wars. So if it's after Secret Wars, I'm only assuming that is going to be the young T'Challa's world colliding with our world, essentially. And then I don't even think it's going to be a time skip. I just don't think it's going to be a time skip at all. I think straight up it's going to be like a different world where he's just now much older. You know, it's going to be the same T'Challa that's going to be his father or whatnot, but he just had him much like him, you know, he just had him much earlier or whatnot. You know what I mean? You know, he didn't freeze, as they said. Did he freeze? Yeah. How about in this other world, T'Challa never froze in the first place, so he put his Mac on much earlier on. So now this is much older. You know what I mean? It could be that. It could be something like that, I think, you know? And then so yeah, you know, but I feel like I guess my question is like, what's going to be the big threat in that film? Was it Denzel's going to be in the movie, right? Denzel's going to be in the film?
Denzel is confirmed to be in the movie. I'm interested. I think he's going to play a villain. I think
that's what I was about to say. I wonder if he's going to be a villain in this.
I think he's playing the villain. Angela Bassett is coming back. I think to be more like she's going to be speaking from the ancestral plane. Like she's not alive, but you know, but she's going to be in there. Michael B. Jordan.
I'm about to say, is Michael B. Jordan going to be in it?
You know, if Ryan eats, Michael eats. like that's
no. Maybe it's the narrator. Maybe he can be the narrator. He can't, man. I know him and Michael are cool, but come on, yo.
He's gonna be like one more time.
You have to put Michael in everything. You know what?
Secret Wars. He shows up in Secret Wars as a form of Killmonger that wasn't crazy. that he didn't kill. This version, he's gonna be like, you know what? I got away from Wakanda, and I can help my nephew or cousin or some shit. Like, bet.
Yeah.
Somehow, Secret Wars will fix it. Secret Wars will have Eric back, Killmonger back, and kicking somehow.
Right. Yeah. I mean, all right. Look, like I like what they did with Michael B. Jordan in the sequel. You know, what I mean, that was awesome. That was a nice little twist. Having Shuri that's what popped up. Like, you know what I mean? Because I was thinking like, who's she gonna see? I was like, she gonna see her brother? Like, and I'm like, how they gonna do this? And then it was him. I was like, and I thought about it. I was like, because she had so much anger inside of her. I was like,
right.
Okay,
right.
I see it. I can see it. You know. Yeah. I feel like I mean, I guess my bigger question too is like Denzel. Like, who is Denzel even going to be playing? Like, if he's going to play a villain, is he going to be like an alternate tribe or whatnot that's pissed off or whatnot? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Maybe he's pissed off that he killed, you know, that Forrest Whitaker is dead, you know, from the first film, and it's like, that was my brother. You know, it's like,
please, God, don't let Denzel try to do a fake ass African accent.
He will.
Please don't. Because Forrest just fucked it up for every American whoever tried. Like, don't do that.
I mean, hell, Forrest kind of messed it up going back. Forrest messed it up when he tried to do like Irish accent back in the day.
Oh yes.
Then was he Idi Amin at one point too? You know?
And like how many actors? I'm hoping Denzel. He's like, look, at my age, who I am, I'm me. All right, just put me in a suit and
pretty much, yeah. He was like, that was pretty much him in Gladiator too. Like everybody else doing it. He was like, fuck this. I'm training day. I'm training. I'm fucking Denzel fucking Washington. Okay, shut up. Like,
shut the fuck. Like, just let me read my lines and do what I got to do. And I'm gonna fight this dude who's half my age and somehow act like this is a real fight.
And you know what? No, Ryan Coogler will probably be all right with it. No joke.
Right. He's just gonna be like,
he's gonna be chill.
Somehow they're going back to Oakland for no reason. It's not.
Yeah, I mean, so yeah. What is your thoughts? Like, what do you think is going to be like possibly the premise of a Black Panther? What's your? I guess I talked a lot about like me being all right with who they casted and the route they're doing with the son. But what about you? Are you okay with it being the son? I mean, I know how you feel about Shuri kind of quickly already getting kind of dismissed or whatnot. But like, how do you?
Well, no, you're not dismiss. Not yes, I not dismiss. So I'm glad that he's the son and not. They didn't try. They like we're not going to recast T'Challa, the senior, right? Like people acknowledge him. We need they need a man in the suit. At some point they're like and now he's T'Challa Jr. I feel like Shuri's gonna die. I feel like that's the route. Superheroes have to have death to get them in that suit. Like that's how that works. T'Challa. So when we got introduced to T'Challa, right? Civil War. When did he suit up? When his dad got killed. He was already Black Panther, but he didn't put the suit on until Daddy got killed. Why did Shuri suit up? Because Mama got killed. Shuri, you can't have two Black Panthers. Like,
but no, that's why. To your point, Lupita would die then, not Shuri though, because he for one, he wouldn't have like no real like he just got introduced to his auntie like just a couple years ago.
But
like,
you still got your mama. You can have your mama. You can't have.
But that was not a strong. But to your point about the whole Uncle Ben theory thing that you're pretty much kind of saying, right? You know, what I mean, like it was like not really knowing Uncle Ben except for like that 1 year, and they're like that's not strong enough. It can't be Shuri. You see what I'm saying?
You can't have two Black Panthers. Like she, unless she's gonna pull the heart-shaped herb out of herself, like that'll like somehow she makes some more. She becomes her mom. She just becomes that auntie figure, and he's like, I need to learn from you. Who are you? Unless he comes through the portal or whatever as a Black Panther, and he just happens to be there, right? If he has to take the heart-shaped herb, he has to take the mantle. She's gonna die. And then that gives them that motivation to be like, I gotta do it. I gotta step up, like my family members before me. That's me. I don't see Shuri lasting past.
What do you think the plot's going to be though?
Truly, I don't know. I don't know enough about the Black Panther comic book universe to know what villains he the kingdom deals with. To be honest, Namor made it seem like they were gonna be like frenemies for a while. So, and I don't know if they're gonna kind of bring that back. So, like Namor is also a thing. Ryan likes to explore minority cultures, so maybe somehow he brings the Asian community involved. Maybe it's the Middle East community involved.
Shang-Chi.
That would be interesting. That would be interesting. But then so he could go that route. Like he could be like, as long as it's no white people. Like maybe he's like Shang-Chi needs some help, and he's like, I'm willing to go to talk to the Asians. But I would love to see that. But I know who's not showing up, and that's the White Wolf. No. So not going.
There was some backlash off of that. They were like, y'all had to put on a post-credit scene, like. It was about Black excellence, and you're going to show the white man at the end. You know what I mean?
I was they're not going to do that. So
where the story? Okay. I'm gonna be honest with you. In my opinion, there's no way that Storm's not going to be in this film. Now the question is, will it be in the middle, the end, or post credit? I'm telling you, she's gonna be in it. What do you think?
Post credit. She because new T'Challa has to stand on his own. Right, like he can't have his new girlfriend save him. You know what I'm saying? So he does something real big. Storm hears about him on the tweets or whatever. She comes stop by. Hey, how you doing? And then that grows over time to me. But she will be there to shake hands and introduce each other. Boom. Maybe they meet in Secret Wars. Like it's a lot of people going on, right? Maybe they meet and then she stops by Wakanda once it's all said. Shuri dies. Got to have a funeral. Storm shows up to represent the rest of the Avengers, and hey, how you doing? Da 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 da. Because her family's from Africa, if I remember correctly. Some of her story, like she has, right? So
yeah.
So I mean, she come see my country. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that sort of thing. But I was like, when they
matter of fact, it actually kind of caused like a little clash too, because it's more like y'all over here, it's like kind of like the whole thing with Michael B. Jordan's character with Killmonger being like, you're over here sitting pretty, and there's a whole continent of Africa that's struggling. You know what I mean? And but
I mean,
I
don't.
They could go that route, and then they could butt heads, and
they could.
They go from button heads to bumping them guts and the sheets.
Come on, bro. Like, I mean, so in Deadpool and Wolverine, Gambit said he was always in the void. How he suddenly a part of the X-Men team is like, yeah. How long has this been happening? So again,
Gambit was like, you know what? Maybe I was born here.
I don't know. I love his accent. Which is done better, the Power Universe or the Marvel Cinematic Universe?
Ooh. Oh my God.
I'm gonna say Marvel. I'm gonna say Marvel
because it took Marvel several years for them to like start to decline. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Power. It didn't take us long.
It didn't take that long. Like, but again, it's different. It's different types of. It's cute, but they're both interesting. But I think the MCU has gotten too big, right? Like, it's just, and for continuity, it's just gotten too big, and it was inevitable, right? Once you start throwing in Celestials, one is still stuck in the ocean. No one's even talking about that, right? Like, there's big shit happening that you got to act like didn't happen because you got other stories and new characters you got to develop, and the world is just too big. Alien invasions that people somehow forgot about, like the whole refugee crisis that people forgot about, like antimanium and vibranium, right? Like you do that, where is Wolverine? Like, where is X-23? Like, you can't just throw that metal in here and then be like, oh, don't worry, Wolverine already had it. Like, that's not gonna make a lot of sense. Like, so those kind of bigger. I hope the power dynamic stays the same, as we talked about with Brave New World, of like, Falcon going up against the Red Hulk. You can't have big ass, level 10 villains going against level 3 like heroes, and somehow they win because they talk it out. And I would love it. Like, no, they need. Remember, Marvel worked when the villain and the hero were same level, and they basically fought themselves in some form or fashion. It made sense. It just made sense.
I agree. Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, that's why people love like the very first Iron Man movie. He was going against was it Warmonger? And
Warmonger. Yeah,
another version of himself. Same thing with the Hulk going against Abomination. Like, yeah, you battle against like your counterpart, or even someone that's not necessarily your counterpart, but someone who's not like extremely too high of a level. You know what I mean? And I get what they were trying to do with Thunderbolts. You know what I mean? But why it doesn't always sit well with me is that I'm thinking like, okay, like I could, if this was like Captain Marvel going against like Sentry, okay,
yeah,
okay, I mean? But like to your point about the critique, you were having about Spider-Man, all it takes is you to just get in someone's head and be like, calm down. All right, fight's over. We all go home.
Hey, not even that. Talk to the memory of my Aunt May. Listen to a recording. Listen to a voicemail in my head. And she was like, you know what? My bad.
I will say this for that version of Spider-Man. I mean, I was kind of joking about bringing up the Spider-Man thing, but I will say this: at least dealing with that younger Jean Grey who did not know how to completely like control her powers. I was okay with her going against Spider-Man. You know what I mean? A very seasoned Spider-Man who's now had these unlocked some other new powers / puberty thing. You know what I mean? To a certain point, and I think they kind of played it very well when you had like the Punisher trying to fight the Hulk, and then Peter Parker been like, dude, what the hell are you doing? Like, you're like, dude, like, no, like you and then Frank realizing last minute was like, shit. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. Meanwhile, like, I think to me, it's still, I still laugh today when I watch the original, when I watch the Avengers in 2012 and they do the superhero lineup. because everything else is great, right? You know what I mean? Where you say like Avengers Assemble, and then you have like Captain America with the shield, you see the Hulk roaring and whatnot, and then it goes to Black Widow, like I'm like, get the fuck out of here. Like I still laugh at it because it's like she kills it. Like at least Hawkeye kind of looks somewhat cool with it, but Hawkeye.
But he's just a dude with some arrows. Like
you gotta wait till Stark can bring you up and like you know what I mean. Like,
so at least Stark had a suit, but it's like it's really Hulk, Thor, and some humans. Like it's and like really, and then it's like they to your point when I saw that I was like, you mean tell me 3 regular people, the Hulk and Thor, are gonna take out a whole alien invasion? I was like, this doesn't make a lot of sense. But in the end, it was like, just get the Tesseract, destroy the machine, and everybody just falls. I'm like, okay, well, they kind of worked that out. But but that's my thing. Like, I feel like Ryan keeps his character. Oh, I said this before. Ryan, they should put Ryan Coogler in charge of all Black characters, right? Like, if Storm gets a movie, Ryan does it. If Blade ever happens, Ryan does it. And it just keeps it Black and consistent, right? Like if Luke Cage comes to the MCU, Ryan does it. It's like, and he'll be happy. Like it's not.
Do not tease me. Do not tease me with that.
But these are just dudes.
I would love that. I would love that. If Ryan Coogler, because no joke, I'm still upset that John Singleton passed away before he could ever do the Luke Cage film that he always wanted to do. And sometimes I even like daydream about like what a John Singleton Luke Cage film would look like.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, what would that? You know what I mean? Like, because it does have like elements like a Boys in the Hood type.
Yeah,
feel,
I would think.
Like, man, like but Ryan Coogler, as far as like directors, when it comes to like us, whatnot, who really get us and even question how we even think, Coogler is the best. Coogler is the best. You know what I mean? Unless you want to go horror and then you say Jordan Peele, maybe, possibly.
Nah. I feel if you're talking cultural representation, Ryan is the new Spike Lee. Like that's, but by choice, he keeps himself in the community. He could do other things, you know what I'm saying? But like he chooses to stay in this stuff. Like him doing X-Files, I'm happy, but I'm also nervous, right? Like I'm like
that is
like that. Like if you said Jordan Peele did it, let's go for it, right? Like I can't wait to see the monsters that come out of his mind. Like I would love to see that. Ryan, I'm like, shit. Like I don't know if I need that much militant X-File FBI stuff. Like I don't know if that I will cut it off. Like that's anyway. We're gonna.
They announced like both of them are gonna be minority. Like they're both minorities too in that, right?
Yeah. It's like a Black woman and a Latino dude, I think, something like that.
Yeah,
something like
that. Okay, so like New York undercover.
Yeah, but with monsters.
Are they gonna play like X-Men, like instead of do like
hey, they walk around Tim's. They walk around Tim's all day and shit. I'm sorry. When they do bring the Wolverine into the MCU, for the sake of Hugh Jackman fans, just make X-23 the new Wolverine so they don't complain. I still X-23 would be awesome. Again, I feel like it'd be feeding off of Deadpool and Wolverine, which was an outstanding movie, you know what I'm saying? And it was cool that Disney let Ryan do what he wanted to do with that. I still think as long as Hugh Jackman's alive, most fans are not going to accept another Wolverine. Like they just won't. Like as long as, because I don't know if it's like if they try to reboot, like they're still gonna reboot the MCU, but like it's gonna be hard to get fans on board with a new Steve Rogers, a new Tony Stark. It will be. I mean, like they're gonna remember the ones that started it all, and if they're still alive, it's gonna be difficult.
I feel like, I mean, I hear what you're saying, but just like anything else, I think people get over it, man. Just like I know. Even when they were talking about this new Fantastic Four, people were like, I was like, oh man, I was like, how are you going to outdo Chris Evans in his Human Torch portrayal? And and people are right now. I get it. He's not as iconic as Hugh Jackman's Logan and whatnot, but I feel like with anything, people, you just give people time. You kind of just show people the product.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hell, like it's even a risk even having. Let's be real. Even having like another straight up. Let's just say just having a sequel to Black Panther was probably a risk all by itself.
Yeah.
Period. Yeah. Because people because the thing is, like, an actor passed away. You know what I mean? People love not only the actor, but love the portrayal that he did, not to mention love the original film. A lot of people were just saying, like, no, the movie that should be it. Like,
yeah,
the end. You know what I mean? Don't revisit Black Panther for probably another 10 years, maybe.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know, and then that's it. So, but then for Wakanda Forever came out, and you know, and people generally loved it. I don't think they loved it as much as the first film, but people was all right with it. I was like, okay, all right, I like the feel of it. You know what I mean? And especially seeing how fast they had to turn that movie in, especially after because they were already kind of like, it was about to already film the thing with Chadwick, and then he started declining and whatnot.
That was quick
turnaround. So seeing how Ryan Coogler was able to kind of
pivot,
switch it up as fast as he was able to do it. You know what I mean? Yeah. You know, it take I would say just I don't know. I'd say still recast Wolverine, like you said. Wait, don't do it now. Like establish these characters first. Make us fall in love with the new Cyclops. Fall in love with Jean Grey.
Yes,
you know what I mean.
Yes,
I was surprised because no joke, as much as people were kind of like, ooh, Jean Grey being in Spider-Man, and over just a couple of weeks, people were like, you know what? I liked her. I like her as Jean Grey. People are starting to like to be okay with it. You know what I mean? People okay with Tom Holland being like, you know, people like, man, he ain't gonna be no Tobey Maguire. It's like, you know what? I like this version. I like this version of that. I feel like people will do the same way with Wolverine. You know what I mean? As long as they don't try to cast someone that looks similar to Hugh Jackman, they go this kind of different route. Still have them be ripped, obviously. Have them to be ripped. You know what I mean? Go a different route with it, whatever. People will be fine with it. You know what I mean? And people will grow into it. You know?
Yeah. But I hear your point that it can't be the first, maybe not even the second movie, because what happened, it became Wolverine. It became Hugh Jackman. Like between X-Men and X-Men 2, by the time X-Men 2 came out, Hugh Jackman took over the franchise. Like he is what I remember from X-Men 2. Like when at a PG-13, he ripped up those guys who came for the students, and I was like, this is a Wolverine I want to see. And then it just became more and more about him. He became closer and closer in the poster, and everybody else kind of fell back, and then it just became him. You know, so you need to know that the X-Men can stand on their own without a Wolverine. You know, and he's just a member. You know, he's a member of the crew.
But I would say First Class, but people love First Class, and that didn't have Wolverine at all. Like he had like a 5-second cameo when they were trying to recruit, and then he said fuck off or go. You know what I mean?
But to the point, he was still there. To the point, every movie.
Yeah, but if you would take that scene out, people would still loved it though. Like, you know what I mean? Like
but like you said, they were just a younger version of characters we already knew. Like you said, you remind me of, like, it wasn't a new timeline or even a new story. It's a prequel to how we get to 2000 is what they were trying to do, which was a terrible idea, but that's what they were trying to do. And so he had to be. It was his universe. Like he had to be there. But this is like a new telling, right? So in theory, right? So he doesn't have to show up at all. You know what I'm saying? At least not in the version that we know him to be. You know, that sort of thing. Nah, I still see people shitting on Tom Holland as Spider-Man, comparing him to Toby and Andrew. Again, to what you can, as at our age, my age at least, I look at like Michael Keaton is my Batman, right? Like you know, just for age.
He's mine too. He
set a standard of what a Batman, a dark brooding Batman is supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? So when I saw Christian Bale, I'm like, he cool. He's just different from Michael Keaton. I'm not gonna say he's worse. He's just different. I like Ben Affleck, but it's like you can see these three Batmen and be like, they all had their own thing. Everybody had their own Joker, and one doesn't take away from the other. They're just different. You know what I'm saying?
That's a good point with Joker, because I remember the outrage people had when Heath Ledger was casted as Joker in The Dark Knight. People were like, yo, like they were like, first off, him, like they were like, yo, why don't you just bring Jack Nicholson back? Bring his old ass back or something, like, you know what I mean? Like, no joke. People were just like, oh, why don't you get this? Why don't you get Joaquin Phoenix? It was like so many names that they were like, you know, they were like the dude from Knight's Tale. You know,
right? How about the Knight's Tale?
Knight's Tale. You want to get like 10 Things I Hate About You? That guy,
Brokeback Mountain. I want to say because he died after it. It had to be. So Brokeback Mountain came out.
Which one was first? Oh,
Brokeback Mountain.
Brokeback Mountain was first. Was that first? Yeah. But it's like,
Knight's Tale. To your point, Knight's Tale. Like he was a comedian. Like that's what I thought of. I was like, he's a funny dude.
Yeah, man. But and then all of a sudden, people still love Jack Nicholson, but then all of a sudden then became the standard.
Yeah,
he became the new standard. Like, you know what I mean? And that I know it's hard for people to think, but who knows? Whoever they get for Wolverine, y'all could actually fall in love with him, just like y'all did with Heath Ledger, possibly.
Problem is, I was about to say this. No, you're right. My problem is I was thinking Henry Cavill, but he's too old. Even he's too old for this new Jean Grey. Like they cannot do that. Like it has to be somebody in their like 20s. Like
but to your point, yes, they can do Henry Cavill. But you saw how excited people were about it.
Yeah.
And it was someone different than Hugh Jackman. I guess it's the point.
Yeah. No, I know. Yeah. I mean, no, you're right. But once you put them in these with these young kids, that's not okay. Like somebody's gonna be like,
oh no, it won't be like you said, it's gonna be like it'll be 2032. Oh God, did I say that out loud? Like it'll be like 2030. Oh my God, ew. I hate saying that word. It'll be like next several years after 2028. After that, several years after 2028. Where we get Wolverine, and then by then, Sadie Sink is going to look a little bit older, as well as the other characters. Or what you know what I mean? And then they'll get like an age appropriate Wolverine. So if that Wolverine saying like, "Hey, Bub, I'm 88 years old" or whatever, you'd be like, whatever. It's a 30-year-old Jean Grey now. You know what I mean? It's not gonna be as weird.
That's all I'm saying. Like this one, like right now, I'm like, that's still the young lady from Stranger Things. Did they say it was a soft reboot for the MCU, not a full reboot? I think after Secret Wars, it's gonna be a soft, I guess. But they are gonna start getting rid of characters and storylines, and so I get like Eternals and all of them. I don't know if they do it on camera, but I think they're gonna get rid of all. Ironheart, fucking She-Hulk, like all these guys that just the Eternals, everything that really didn't work. They're just
are they going to show them go away? Are they going to have to do like what they did in Flash, and then like they just turned into it's going to be like a CGI thing where we see CGI Christopher Reeves, and they're like, so it's going to be like a CGI Echo. So we see Echo, and then her leg falls off, like her fake leg.
I forgot about Echo. Okay. Let's say this: they don't acknowledge anyone that wasn't in a movie. I think they let the TV show just go by itself. So like Ironheart made a movie. So like she made it so like maybe you have to acknowledge, or they do what they did with King the Conqueror and Ant-Man, where it's a conversation. You know how many I killed the guy with the hammer, I killed the guy with the shield. Now you're next. Like they could try to do that, and then, so you don't have to see them all.
True.
And then they're okay. But anyway, that's my thoughts. All right. Okay, that's all I got. Any final words before we say goodbye?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's safe to say that we're all going to look forward to the next couple of months and years, I guess, when it comes to Marvel. I guess, it's kind of the reason why they haven't really advertised the whole thing with Vision Quest, I think, is because it's probably the same reason why they didn't really do the same thing when it came to both Wonder Man and Punisher special, because it's just they realize that the numbers are just not there as far as people watching the streaming stuff from Marvel and whatnot. So I'll still be watching Vision Quest, but I'm not gonna be like, oh my God, it's a Wednesday. You know what I mean? Right now I keep looking at my watch because I'm waiting for 9:00 to watch Lanterns. You know what I mean? Myself.
Do you want to do that week to week, or you want to do that as a season?
I guess, you know what? Or should we do the Okay, let's do this. Maybe we do the pilot episode, and then if it looks like it's going to be one of those things where it's like, it needs to develop, because they're saying it's going to be like True Detective. Something tells me that's going to be like a whole season.
That's
the whole thing.
So
maybe we could do I don't know. I mean, I guess we can judge by the pilot.
Let's watch the first. We'll watch first episode. We talk about it. And then we got enough meat on the bone, then we can add it to the week to week thing. and then let's do that. Because somebody asked us to do it.
Yeah.
I want to watch.
I also plan on possibly rewatching the Endgame that might be in theaters again, just in case. I know, David. I know. Shut up.
Bro, like there may have been a whole new movie. Like, hey, you remember what I did? Remember what I did with Endgame? If it's the last 10 minutes, I will buy a ticket and go watch the last 10 minutes.
I'm gonna use my stub points. I'm gonna use my AMC stub points.
That's different. Like you already investing. That's like $20 out of my pocket. You know what I'm saying? That's like,
but then I also got to sit there for like 2.5, almost 3 hours too. So
not doing that. Like it's gonna be the last maybe 10 minutes, maybe. It may just be a post-credit scene. Damn it. they may just change the post-credit scene where he's sitting up there with Peggy. And
I'll tell you this: if they do this little BS where like I'm watching the whole movie and then like 2 or 3 days before Doomsday, then all of a sudden Disney just uploads the post-credit scene. I'll be like, you motherfuckers.
Yo, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. They're gonna.
I'll be so pissed if they do that. I'll be so pissed.
Well, also with Disney Plus, okay, before we go. I've said this during COVID when we started doing reviews. The best thing that happened to Disney Plus was COVID, because they had no choice but to spread their shows out to where it became like Disney, Star Wars, Marvel, Star Wars. Like they had to put the content together because nobody's gonna watch. Like nobody was watching it. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then when they put Hulu in it, it was like, okay, now it's something. You know what I'm saying? But like, if you don't have that constant,
we forgot about Ahsoka, but it's all good. Okay.
Yeah, it's like when it comes out, it was awesome. We'll review it. It was great. Ahsoka's awesome. It should have been the movie. Fuck the Mandalorian and Grogu. They should have put Ahsoka in theaters, and that would have made money. The trailer alone was better than that entire movie. I was like, damn it. I mean, Fat, am I wrong?
Mandalorian wasn't terrible.
Which one of them should have been on TV?
Yes, Mandalorian. Yes, Mandalorian should have been on TV.
All right, you know what I'm saying? Like Ahsoka, that was cinematic. I saw that trailer. I was like, this needs to be a 2.5 hour movie. I will be there every minute. That being said, it can't be a full review. Because Spider-Man is still rolling along. A lot of main characters are coming back, but I think they're gonna get rid of the characters that just didn't do well. They're just
not only that, don't forget this is also a Sony character too. So I mean, they can't just they can't just be like, oh yeah, we're getting rid of them. Sorry, Sony. Like, no.
Yeah. So one, you're not getting Miles Morales because they don't own those characters. So I know some people were thinking that like we're not getting Miles, if at all.
They could. I mean, because Sony they clearly can't do a live action adaptation stuff by themselves without Marvel stuff. Animate. I don't know. I'm still holding out hope that Miles Morales will be in Secret Wars.
I feel after their final animated movie comes out, and
it comes out like next year, so yeah, it makes sense. It would be perfect.
So I'm saying, so next year, right? Like then they're like, okay, let's look at what does a live action Miles look like, right? And then they set it up, because if Tom Holland Spider-Man needs to get MJ and live happily ever after, that's not happening in Secret Wars. Like they got to kind of bring him back to his own thing so he can kind of ride off into the sunset, and then Miles shows up, you know. But like you point, we're looking at 2030 at that. Damn it, I don't like saying it either. We're looking at the 30s. We're looking at the 30s before we get him. Power Universe after Power Legacy needs a reboot. I like that. They do need something. They do need to reboot that.
They are with Origins, okay? They're gonna rewrite everything. They're gonna forget that we remember anything about.
That's what Origins needs to be. The reboot. That's what Origins should mean. We're starting all over again. Like and then they can do whatever they want. Like that would have been awesome. Doom comes in and just wipes it away. And it's like, what? Anyway. Thank you guys very much for hanging out with us. We appreciate you. I know it's late. We will see you on Saturday and Sunday for some reviews. Lanterns, we will do either next weekend, one way or the other. We'll do the first episode and talk about it on camera. Like, you know, is this worth doing week to week? Are we gonna wait till it's over and see how that goes? But I'm very interested. The graphics looks awesome. I'm sure it will be better than Supergirl. And then we'll see how that goes. Until next time.
I will say thank you guys very much for hanging out with us. I see people watching, people in the chat.
I enjoy The View very much. I don't know what the fuck I was watching.
Rewatch this. Rewatch this when we're done. Rewatch this. You'll see what we're talking about. You're going to be like, oh, shit.
Hilarious. Absolutely hilarious.
What do I go there?
Oh, shit. Stacey, do your thing. Fuck that shit.
But anyway, please like and share and comment on the video and all that kinds of stuff. As they say, we're just going to end this broadcast and say bye.